Man, Brendan's at the big desk.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 2 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, Eclipse Monday afternoon. I was just watching a live stream. It's almost there. It's almost completely covered right now. So it's cloudy here, unfortunately, so we can't really see much, but apparently it's getting dark outside. A few things to note this afternoon. We did have a huge move up. We were discussing early on this morning in the dollar, also in some of the yields. Longer term, specifically, 30-year gets all the way back to 4.6. Completely reversed. All of them have completely reversed and come back to basically where they started the day, including, this is the dollar, but if we zoom out, you can get a better idea. So we're all the way up to 104.45 early on this morning, heading downside currently. So that is helping the market out overall. There's Apple still lagging a little bit as it's done over the past few weeks and months. Apple downside again today, about 0.5%. Definitely some of the small caps, crazy movers today as far as range is concerned. Where to be, everything else basically flat. Here's AMD as well, trying to get back to the upside, just got back above 170. Held nicely, trying to take out that last pivot there for AMD. Yeah, pretty flat looking heat map here so far today. Strength in banks right across the board, JP Morgan included, 0.5%. Remember, Friday, we get bank earnings, and then we're right back into earnings season. So strength from banks, a little bit of weakness from big tech once again, but QCOM, to mention in the chip sector, a little bit stronger than the rest. Google upside, Microsoft, Meta, Netflix downside. Pharmaceutical names are weak. Some of the streaming names as well. Disney, Netflix, I saw as well, a little bit weak this afternoon. Just be aware, Fitz Goolsbee was speaking. As far as I saw, the comments a lot more vanilla or tame than they were last week. Very hawkish last week from Fed speakers right across the board going into the weekend. Caused that big sell-off on Thursday, but Goolsbee was making some comments. Yeah, there's a market. Not much going on. That's the big sell-off I was mentioning back on Thursday. Ahead of, and it might be just the case, coming up tomorrow we get the latest reading on inflation itself in the morning at 8:30. Make sure you're with us. We'll bring you that CPI print live when it happens. Overall, mostly expectations are looking for something unchanged, essentially, from last month, and no real reflection of any kind of progress when it comes to the inflation fight. So how that will affect the overall market remains to be seen. All right, let's talk a little bit about what we were discussing. If you're with us in the pre-market this morning, this Coinbase had a nice gap to the upside along with Bitcoin, trying to get back to all-time highs. Still holding up nicely today. Coinbase, guys, trying to head back higher here, just below that 260 at this point.
Someone's ready. It's starting to it's starting to heat up, apparently. There you go, get unmuted.
No, it's not even muted, it's unpowered.
Power that bad boy. No, but you can't turn the mic on until the glasses were on. That was the problem. That was the problem.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
There's no chance you can see when those are on.
No, they're so dark.
Like, no
You
chance.
can't even see these crazy lights up here. But I'm getting ready. The wife says 2:04 p.m. And then when it starts to darken, she's going to let me know, and I'm going to run out there and see what's up with that. So get ready for that. Just a matter of minutes now before we get to see something that we haven't seen before. So hopefully that'll be nice. The totality. And they showed the stream that it is, and we're cutting right through it. So hopefully
Feels like a word like Stephen A. Smith would make up.
Yeah.
Totality of the information that LeBron has to dissect. It's just some ridiculous nonsense.
Dallas Cowboys
say
is the Stephen A. Smith. He's a big Dallas Cowboy.
It's more Skip is the
hater.
Skip Bayless is more the LeBron guy.
LeBron? Yeah. Well, everyone loves LeBron. Welcome back, Brendan, Sean, and Neil. What are we talking about? Crypto. Wow, 71.7.
7% for Coinbase today.
Really? Okay. We haven't looked at Coinbase yet here today. I was looking at that 268 top. We talked about that earlier. That didn't come through. Was it 268? Yeah, it was all the way up here. Yeah, we didn't even get really that close to it. So now I think you just play off this 262 level. I'm still long the same two names, and we just got into them again, both with Amazon and Apple. Look at this Amazon dip buy. We actually had it there and it gave it up. And then we just got it back and like planting those red flowers back to the upside. Look, I don't have a trade on Coinbase or Mara or anything today, but we should. We definitely missed out on that one. The only one that was a possible crypto, do we have Robinhood written? Oh no, we have Sofi. The only one that could have been small crypto is Robinhood, but I don't really, we missed that. Yeah, Matt. I don't know. What are you going to talk about? Coinbase?
I'm in Mara right
Mara,
now,
okay.
but Coinbase was a one-shot deal for me off the open because you would have heard me say I like the 250 level on Coinbase. There was one bounce off 250. It played inside the range, and so sometimes when you make a range-bound trade, it just ends up going, and it continued to go higher. The missed opportunity isn't necessarily holding on to this to the next level. It probably would have been in here grabbing the 54 long. So I took the 50 bounce play, which we said we would. How did my 50 line just disappear on its own? I probably dragged it. Anyways, 250 bounced and held. We took a couple of bucks out of it. At this point, I'm in Mara the other way because Mara is just not. I mean, it's down 1.7%. Coinbase is up 7% on that gap up in crypto. And for the lesson of the day, we talked about good gap trades and bad gap trades. And this one was an example of immediately giving up the gap support level at the open. So I just shorted the pop into VWAP. But the one thing that's curious about this is it spent a lot of time going back into the previous close. And I was like, yeah, okay, get in. Don't get any more until you get some out. Get some more. Take a little bit out for the scalp trade, 15 pennies. And then do the same thing. And then it finally double topped, and I wasn't sitting at my desk when it happened. Like, it finally made this move in here, and then I was trying to get back in after I actually should cancel that. So I'm short Mara because it's relatively weak. If you're gonna tell me that Coinbase and Bitcoin are screaming and most of crypto is going up, and you're gonna have a red day, that speaks to the issue that Mara has been having. There it is. It's almost total. You probably want to. You should go. Well, I don't know.
I don't think it's happening around here yet. My wife is on this.
Okay, yeah, it'll be probably a couple minutes, but it's getting pretty darn close.
Is it dark out today?
You'll see us like tag team. Sean will go first. I'm gonna go out. I just want to experience the dark. Apparently, according to Fabian, that's in Mexico right now.
Right. Okay.
Well, yeah, you got to tell us that first. There it is.
There it goes. See ya.
There it is.
Now you're almost at complete darkness.
Almost. Darknesses.
And now it's almost like midnight. There it is.
That's right. You got caught creeping there, Ty. It's all good. Yeah, you were live, Ty. It's all good. It's fine. Ty's just chilling. He wanted to see it. You know, it is what it is. What's up? I seriously doubt we'll put, if I get a reload on Mara, maybe. Coinbase, I think, just so we can finish off the crypto segment here. VWAP looks good, but I like 254 a little better if we're going to play a bounce. 54 is support level for Coinbase, but I'm sticking with Mara, relatively weak. We'll play that short. Same level of resistance, 18.5.
All right, let's talk about Tesla here. We got this note from Elon early on this morning talking about robo-taxis coming up in August. We're going to get a teaser of said robo-taxi. Nice day here, 5.5%. It's never really dipped.
Yeah, Gene Munster was basically saying, 2027 before he feels that we'll see anything concrete on the road. Morgan Stanley taking an even dimmer view, saying, it's decades likely before we see anything manifest on the road. And they're basically citing technological problems as well as regulatory headwinds. So we'll see, but up big on the day today, Brendo.
Yeah, about to take out the highs actually right now, guys, for Tesla.
5.5%. So regardless of what anybody says, like when this could happen, because I think the 8th hits and it's just a reveal. It doesn't mean they're going to be out on the road. We said this morning, and who knows when it'll be the level of you got these massive fleets of these bad boys just going everywhere. But for now, Tesla is making a great bounce on the daily off 160. Today, this was an example of it gapping up, trying to fill in the gap, and then the pre-market had support at 68. I was playing off of 171, which was Friday's highs. So I had 3 longs in there. The second time through, I got stopped out before getting back in and played 171 to 173. Like, it's very similar to the Coinbase trade where I played it inside of the range for a couple of bucks. It's continued $1 higher. I thought maybe we'd be playing back down into the support level. Instead, higher lows. I think you go 173, morning resistance into afternoon support. That seems like the way to go here for Tesla. Great rally. Remember, though, the downtrend on this daily chart isn't really broken. It'll be trying to break when it gets above 185 and closes the 50 period, but it's a good start to have double bottomed here at 160 for Tesla. Remember, this has been, we're down, what was it, 29%? I forget what the actual exact number is. I have to double check. But it's roughly, let's call it roughly 30% on the year for Tesla, and been incredibly weak. So the trend might not be broken, but 5.5 ain't a bad start. Only went long today, but it wasn't that perfect dip buy. Had to kind of pick it up 71 to 73.
Ah, that's why. I refreshed my cache.
What happened?
Oh, no, nothing. It logged me out of... I was trying to put a tweet out, but it logged me out.
Oh, yeah, because if you...
All good. Okay, so Tesla. So, yeah, Tesla was... I was going to show this. Tesla was my #1 idea. There it is. That's so pretty. There's NASA.
Damn.
That's a jam. Anyways, we had Tesla right there at 164. It didn't really get down there. So we're going to have to wait to see what's going on with Tesla down in and around 174. We wrote down 164. So it's nowhere near there. Nicely up 5 and a bit %. I think this is the start of something for Tesla. So I'm going to be ready to break this 180 tomorrow. I really like this trade, 180 long. It's going to have to get there. I think it does. And when we do, we get to 190, and then we get to 200. I actually like some call buying right now on Tesla. I think there's some good opportunities there to get back going. Good catalyst. I definitely like the story.
We're just watching the eclipse. This is pretty crazy.
Unreal.
Glowing moon right now. All right, let's continue along here. TSM picking up a whole bunch of funding from the government to build a facility. I thought this actually topped out above that pre-market high, and then I really hasn't seen it since. I saw a huge volume alert that came in when that happened, but hasn't had much of a day after that.
No, Brendo. I mean, that's typical. Some of these Chinese ADRs. We'll have to see how it performs tomorrow. But $6.6 billion is how much they're getting from the CHIPS and Science Act. They're also eligible for another $5 billion in proposed loans. That's after agreeing to spend about $65 billion of their own money. Part of that will be earmarked to actually train local workers. One of the practices of some of the chip companies is they bring in their employees from other areas who are already trained on the machinery and such. Not going to be the case here, Brendo.
Nice day anyways, guys, overall for TSM.
I mean, the gap held and the support held. I just feel like you didn't come in there thinking it was going to be trade the opening range in either direction. You might have thought this was going to be a breakout play. Gap up. Look at it on the daily chart. Like, it's a consolidation break. I said this morning I'm probably not trading TSM because A, that's more exciting. See, that's that look over what we just saw. Like, I love seeing the red hue. Like, it's cool, but what I want to see and why we're going to tag team to go out is I just want to experience the total darkness. Because anybody can look at this video, and if you've over the years, I've seen multiple ones from back in the day, and then the one in was it 2017? Whatever.
I think that's what people are saying. There was one.
Yeah, but you can find the video for the last one. But when you stand outside in the total darkness, in the darkness in the middle of the day, that is a unique experience. You feel like you're immersed in the event, as opposed to just seeing the picture. TSM, I think, there were better places to trade today in the chip land. That's just, there's always going to be better opportunities out there. All that said, I'm in Intel, which is working, but I took the L on AMD this morning. We're shorting AMD, and it never gave that perfect entry up at 73. This is Friday 73 top. I was short off the pre-market lows. The first trade worked for a nice scalp trade. Was able to get 60, 70 cents, and then reloaded it twice, both of them L's. And if anything, AMD is holding VWAP and is green right now, so it feels like it's some relative strength out in that name. Intel, I am shorted off of the 3840. First short didn't work, but just came right back to it when it's relatively weak. I took some out at 38 as a best fill, but I'm holding on to the last 10%. And I'll reload this at VWAP. This is a convenient price. The morning low at 3840, and then able to short 3840 on the way back up, and now VWAP's that same price. So it's the perfect area for VWAP here at 3840. We get another 20 cents, and I'll reload this one. So the chip name in the afternoon is going to be either Intel short VWAP or looking AMD long VWAP. And I know that seems weird, but if you can't tell that Intel is relatively weak, you have to be able to, you have to be able to put your head around the fact that you can easily be short Intel any day you want to be long a good long setup on a chip name. That's just how the stock's been trading.
Yeah. As far as Nvidia is concerned, you know, like I said, I think Nvidia is going to be stock one here. Not today. We haven't traded today, but for the month, I'll go back to Nvidia for sure. 880 though. I mean, we got to get up to VWAP here. I mean, this is a great level. If we could start whipping around, man, 877. If we can get back up to the upside, we'd really, really like that level to come through. 877. I mean, on Nvidia, you scroll it back, it's right there as well. We've done this a couple times, and that is to be able to take this trade in and around past levels into today. And then if you really get up here, I mean, this is such a good one as well. 880 and change. Lots of stuff, lots of opportunity right here for Nvidia. So I still like it. If we could bounce off 868, maybe you take that long again. But I'm going to try to stay on the short side. However, look what these futures are doing. You know, they're starting to go back up. I'm wondering about these longs. I've only traded 2 names today, and they're all amazing. Amazon and Apple have been amazing to the long side. We continue to do that. I don't know if we're going to talk about Apple or not, but like there's the bids, boom, boom, boom. More reloads here on Apple, Fabian, as we continue to go to the upside, but we can show that later. Back to the desk.
We're trying to break back higher here, still just basically breaking into positive territory, 0.1 for both the S&P and the NASDAQ. Let's touch on SoFi here real quick. There was this student loan forgiveness angle this morning. There was also a couple of upgrades on SoFi this morning. So still a nice day, 3.5% in a flat market.
Yeah, Brendo, and it was a pretty poignant upgrade here by Citigroup with a buy rating, guys, and a price target of $11. The price target really is not what's getting my attention here. It's the buy rating. But this was all precipitated by the student loan forgiveness program, the Biden administration trying to figure out a way to extend some of those loan forgiveness that they had struck down last year. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, interesting look.
KBW was the other one I saw going to market perform from underperform. So yeah, a couple of positive notes here, guys, for SoFi.
You know, we were saying this in the midday, or well, actually during the midday, we were just sort of saying this to each other. Like SoFi was really gently grinding higher and just sort of ending up at 3.5, almost 4% to the upside. It just never felt like anything was out of pocket or crazy. But I'm not as excited until this gets above $788 on the daily. Like it's just. Every time it's done this little bit of a climb up in the last month or so, it just cannot get above the 50 on the daily. So until that happens, I think you're getting these nice small moves, which gives you a scalp trade if you want. The other day we're saying if you want 725, it'll give you like a 15, 20 cent move. That's out there for you. And it was a bit better today. Like it just sort of held the gap up and then went right into Thursday's Kashkari top at 770. But I'm waiting for this thing to start moving above $8. When it holds above $8, that'll be like when Rivian breaks 10. Like that's when I'm going to get excited to look at that stock for the trade. So good start, up 3%. Whether or not this new loan forgiveness plan goes through, SoFi has been trying poorly to break the range for the last month or so, and I think you got to be patient. You want to stock when something's really, really starting to go, and I think it's getting there, but. My long-term account wishes it would faster. You're hovering, Ram. Oh, somebody's calling me.
All right. Shout out to Addy Stacks here. What's up? There it is. What's up, Addy Stacks? Top chat. No, there it is right there. $10 for Disney. Yeah, I don't prefer this terminology, so I'll just say, is it in the middle or not? Let me find out. Okay. Out of here. When are we going outside soon? Going to go outside soon. All right, so I'm not going to look at this because you're not talking about right now. You're talking about for a long term, I would assume there. So let me just look at this from potentially here. This is a little bit of a better 20-minute chart right now. So I think you got to get Disney above 119 before we can go long again. So you guys know I always say, like, get that garbage out of here. I still think Disney has a higher trajectory, but it's already been a nice move from basically $90 all the way up to 124, 125. It had a huge run. I could see that a lot of traders and holders of the name, such as myself, and obviously ones that have much more shares, many more shares than I do, getting out of this name because the shareholder vote is now done. The board of directors is remaining where it is, and there's not going to be that big shuffle that a lot hoped for. So I would say for Disney, let it shake out. I think you got to get at least above this. This is 19. I think tomorrow, if you get above 19, then you can start to buy calls or maybe hold out that we can get back to this 123. But until you clear away from all of this, there's the move down. There's the support today at 117. There's the support again at 117. So it's showing you a bottom. It's just let's confirm it. And I feel like a break of 119 gets that back going. And the best part about a trade like this is, Addy Stacks, is that you can stack your money because you know your downside. And if you get out here at 116 or 116.50, that's $3 downside risk, where I think you have the high again. So I think that that's at least 4 or 5 to the upside. Again, as a ratio, I don't absolutely love it, but I think it's there for Disney. I think it's worth taking a shot at the long if you like the setup there. And that bottom break of 117, probably imminent on a bad day, but the market's not going to go up forever, and Disney will fall with the market as well. So, yeah, it will try to go. It will eventually go up, but it just won't go in a straight line. But Disney has gone in kind of a straight line. So be careful with that.
I don't want to hear the Pro Bowl next to me saying things like the market's not going to go up forever. Come on, Sean. Come on.
Yeah, I wish.
No,
I
know. Look, I know the point you're making. It's like the bull market doesn't go up without pullbacks. That's the real thing. We do go up, generally speaking, forever. But
Disney, even Nvidia is down 15%.
Yeah,
exactly. People don't realize that. But
there's nothing wrong with a pullback. And look, Disney had a huge rally into the event.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable. Their park experience is fantastic. Man, the stuff that they're doing worldwide in their parks, like the different themes, like you got the new Gardens of the Galaxy, like they're printing money with the theme parks right now, and everyone just cares about how poor the Marvel movies are. They're making bank everywhere else, so it's.
Yeah, the thing is, so many people. Oh, it's because that streaming wasn't a huge success for them, so they kind of got to fall back on the movies. I think they'll get it right.
They'll get it. No, they'll.
The next Star Wars is going to be huge, I would think.
I hope so.
I hope so too. All right, what else we got going on here? Okay, Boeing. All right, I don't have anything to say about SoFi. The only trade that I had to talk about would be Robinhood.
Yeah, that's adjacent.
Yeah, Robinhood is, Boeing is next. Okay, or was that just Boeing? No, we were on SoFi. Yeah, Robinhood was just right here. So I feel like this 1850, we talked about that and we missed it. So we'll wait for 1850 to come back for Robinhood. I'm still waiting to get that from the wife there, the okay to go outside. Break.
All right, let's talk about Boeing. We'll wrap things up with this BA report. We actually had a nice run, maybe some short covering into the open, and then it just got faded again off that 184. I didn't see anything new. I don't know if you caught anything new. This popped up a little after the fact, not necessarily Boeing related, but right back to basically where it started the morning in the pre-market here.
Well, Brendo, if they can stop these parts from flying off, they do have demand. And here it is. Spirit Airlines delays Airbus deliveries to boost its liquidity. Could this help Boeing? It's been a carrier that's used mostly Boeing planes in the past. They've been reluctant to move to Airbus, but they may be forced to here. So Boeing can get their in order. I think that they've got orders ready. But this adds to the flight last week, Brendo, that took off from Las Vegas that caught an engine on fire. So 2 incidents in 2 weeks here for Boeing planes.
Yeah, if you were eyeing that resistance from Friday, definitely a spot to fade it this morning, guys.
Well, here it is right here. This is my wife sending me a picture right outside our window. So it's looking like pretty cloudy and not super dark right now yet.
We'll get there.
Darkness has fallen on Toronto, but not yet. And when it does, I told you there's a price tag for everything, my guy. Anyways, yeah, we have the glasses.
I'll give you a 7th round pick.
Done.
But no, I'm just joking. I'm not going to give you 7. A 7th round pick in our pool is actually like a 19th round pick if we keep like 12 guys. But Boeing, we traded it at the open, and I always say this, if you wait for your key price levels. You saw me actually wait for 250 on coin. Didn't make a trade till it was a 250 bounce. On Boeing, I did make the trade off of the previous close. Okay, so that was correct. Right? I wanted 183. Like you heard me say, I like a 183 short. It broke higher. And then I jumped into it again at the same price instead of waiting for top, like they say. 185 was it. Didn't take it, so I'm gonna I'll do the slap to fail for Boeing. They can't get out of their way. I wanted to short any pop if there was. It was a strong move. Like this thing rallied at the open, the straight $3.50 or so before it started to come back down. Sometimes you try to withstand that. I'm never gonna hold that trade all the way through, but getting into it, that second area, that's what you want to do. Obviously, I pivoted a little bit to the things that I'm short now, but this would have worked out and been absolutely fine if you just wait for that second level into the upside. Only in 2 shorts. Haven't really had anything come back to key price levels. Just looking over there at Tesla. That doesn't seem to want to pull back into like a 73 level. So we'll work back over to something we haven't talked about in Mag 7 land, and that's Google or Alphabet, as you're supposed to call the stock.
Yes.
Yeah, the wicks are back, baby. They're coming with a vengeance on my chart. There's no print to 150. Higher lows now in Alphabet. I have one in and out flat. Because I got into it, I'm like, why am I catching it? I should wait for a bounce. I'm like, you get into position, you're like, no, that's not the in we want. I want to see it make some kind of a low or a consolidation. Instead, I was sitting on the bid as it broke VWAP. So higher lows, if you want to put it like right here at about 940, you've got this into these. So I feel like you could break VWAP on Google, still get down around 154.20 or so, and this would be a decent area for a long. So I don't want to write this one off. It's up 1.4%. Let's go Google. When in doubt, zoom out. So here's the daily chart. It is trying to get back into that 155, 156, where just last week it failed a 52-week high. So if it needs to make a second run at it, it's got to hold on to VWAP today, go higher and all that good stuff. I'm looking for the bounce just underneath VWAP, like almost like the money fills under VWAP on Alphabet. Relative strength, I want to be long. Relative weakness, I want to be short. That's why Intel and Mara are shorts to me.
So I just got, what's up to Matt? What is it, Matt? Yeah, Matt Carnes here. So I don't know anything about Riley, but apparently he wants to know about it. So all I do is I go in here and search here and find out Riley Financial, hit enter, and then I don't really see too much on here at all, but it's trending today. I think I clicked on here, it showed Riley Automotive, it just showed that it was up 6%. So yeah, I don't know, maybe there is not too much news here, but this is the Benzinga Pro platform, and that's what we can use. You can also search, different hashtags on Twitter and everything like that, so you can go have a quick look over there. But here it is, Riley, nice move up, 13% now, continuously going for Riley.
That's
so
legit.
thanks for bringing that up. Nice move up, and looks like it's trying to break right through this level. Wow, that is looking, this is looking, I don't know anything really at all about this name, but that's, Matt, that's again, this is like, an elongated get that garbage out of here. Like this has been here since November, and now you're finally starting to break higher. This looks fantastic.
This can't be right.
Honestly. So
this thing has an 81% short float.
Oh, is it?
So look, I'm just gonna read it for you guys, just so you know that I'm not making this up, right? I pull up my trade ideas like we do, because that's the source, and I've got 80.88% short float and a 16 million share float. So low float, and a lot of it is short, and it's breaking out. Like on the weekly chart, it's breaking out. On the daily chart, it's breaking out. That's interesting to me. That's why I guess you get moves like that on that chart, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. The volume's only 1 million shares right now, but that's not a bad find. If you look,
Oh, that was a good one. I was impressed with that. Okay, so let's just read this together as I look for more things to trade. Adding some Palantir to the sticky note down here at support in and around 2280. Okay, so we write that when Palantir is at 2315. We're going to buy some Palantir at 2380. So let's just 2280. So let's just have a look to see how Palantir is doing today. We only have 2 trades today, the 2 names that we're in right now, and they're reloaded trades. It's not like we're just resting on these. Okay, so Palantir's at 2312. Okay, so we said let's buy some Palantir at 2280. All right, so here we go. Let's figure this out. The bottom of the day for Palantir is 2270. So, again, we left this alone in the beginning. We should not have. We didn't have it up. Good move for 2280. And I was just looking at this again because I didn't even zoom out. I was like, oh, wow. That came pretty close. 22, like it just got to 22.90 there. So one way or the other, 22.80 seems like another decent level. So if we have to, let's wait to that. Okay, I'll do one. You want to duel me? How do I do this? Accept.
What was that?
I don't know. These guys are doing TikToks. Like,
No, they're putting them on camera. Okay, it's all good. No, you're talking about. Look, the thing about. Shout out to IG, is that just randomly pops up as I start talking about like other stuff. But when you're talking about like being patient, like looking for the key levels, like that 22.90, there was a comment this morning. Micron's getting its butt kicked, so let me not bury the lead. But there was a comment this morning or a question about buying a dip in this, and what I was sort of getting at when I talked about it and why I didn't like the dip till 21. Anytime a stock runs like this, like it closed at 123. And it is up by the time you get to the open, and it's all pre-market movement. Like it wasn't even a gap up. Like it just opened pretty much at the same price it closed at, and then just rallies like wildfire, instantly breaks down and gives up the whole move in the open. You got to be really careful. That's incredibly bearish. And if we even sniff VWAP, I think this would be a short trade. But in terms of where the support is, like here's the 121. Like if it's just going to reject up here, like why not 121? For a long trade on Micron. I don't know if we're going to get it. Let's be real. Yeah, Molfar's saying it's going to be a nothing burger in the GTA. It'll get dark, though. Don't worry about it. Like, if you want to look at the sun with the glasses on, hey, you can always find a video from somewhere else where it's clear. But if you just want to go out and experience the dark, we'll be able to do that, no problems. Mara's starting to come into a reload zone, as you were just mentioning. You have your reloads on. All right, it was getting close to VWAP. Right, if we're being patient, it's actually about 20 cents away. So yeah, but you have to be patient. I like the 18.5. It's at 18.25. I don't want to step too far out in front. Oscar saying Coinbase is at resistance, but like I liked Coinbase for longs today and Mara for shorts. So I don't want to be playing Coinbase trying to short the top. This is a strong stock. Been trying to short weak stocks if you can. Go long stronger ones, which will bring me back to, do I get a reload opportunity in Intel? You just want to go back to what is working. It's getting close to VWAP. I'm being patient. It's at the 20s. Again, I'm trying to get this mid-30s to the 40 area. So it still has to go a little bit of a trek higher before we actually get that fade. I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, Chef Joe, you and I very, very much alike as we talk about that on the chat. Coin close to 260. Okay. We can have a look at that. Amazon still trying to ride this high here as well. Coin at 260. I'm still waiting for the call to go outside, and then I too will, put down the microphone for a couple minutes and have a quick look to see what's going on out there. But you know what I actually want to look at? What about Intel? So Intel's been, I was looking at that down at $38. I mean, that Palantir 2320 is also something that might be able to break right now. What stock was that? Oh, Palantir. Intel down at 38. I mean, look at that base, Just trying to see what these guys are doing beside us over here. 38.01.
What about Reddit?
38. What is that dip down opportunity here? 38. That's 37. So I think there's some buy opportunities down into here, maybe. 37.70, 37.60. This actually, you know what?
I like it better at 33.
It's too bad. I know. That's what I was going to say. It's too bad we didn't have like some thing is it's down 1.28%. The problem is that it's more about a catalyst. I think Intel's almost prime. Like if we can get something here, I think it wants to go up. Like, well, no, I don't think it wants to go up.
But what's the catalyst?
Exactly. So
earnings aren't coming we're starting earnings season on Friday.
It has to get upgraded or something, like about the foundry or something has to come out, like someone's done some work.
Can I ask you a question?
Because look at that. This is such a good bottom, isn't it? 37.50.
Let's disregard price.
Texas is dark.
So forget about where any stock is actually trading right now. It doesn't matter where the stock is trading. So that allows you to ignore the fact that Amazon, Google, and Meta are at highs and Tesla's at lows. if the market goes into a pullback and we get another like 5 or 10% down, what is the stock? Not this at this price. What's the stock that you are most excited to dip by? Like whether or not it gets to the level that you want to buy it, but like what's the one that you want to get on a dip? And then let's forget about a realistic price. Just like when.
No, I mentioned that. I mean, I really think that we stay the course with the right plan of action and buy Nvidia. Honestly, I really just think that we don't even need to make it that difficult. I really like the future for these GPUs. I think you just wait for the market to come in and buy the best names. I think you buy Nvidia.
If not
something
Nvidia,
more, a little bit outside the realm.
I actually, one of them is like, I want Microsoft to give me a good dip.
Okay, well, Microsoft.
That's a stock that.
But that's kind of like the whole.
Well, it's like you've had a chance to get more Apple. You've had a chance to get more Alphabet if you've been trading. I don't think I think you had a reasonable chance maybe to get some Meta, but I don't think you've had maybe you actually haven't had that great a chance to get Meta if you're aggressive. But in terms of Google and Apple, you've been able to get them, the big ones, the big NASDAQ ones. You just haven't been able to get Microsoft dip in the same way if you've been looking to add to it. Like it's close to the 50 period, but in terms of like an actual, like come on to my daily chart for a second. Like this is the perfect example of if you just dollar cost average or gradually buy, it just doesn't matter. Because if you've been waiting for a real pullback on, say, Microsoft, like this is like I would like for Microsoft to be I think it's like my 5th biggest holding right now, which doesn't even make any sense. Because when I look back and it's like, why in the heck do I even have more shares of Eli Lilly than Microsoft? And once that was, like I might even sell more Lilly because of that. But you're not going to get the 200 period unless something crazy happens. So maybe you're just, if you want more, dollar cost average or the 50 periods is as good as you're going to get. But I think when you look at it from that standpoint of like, what is that stock that you just can't get into? Well, if at the beginning of the year you said, who cares? It's the 50 period, I'm just going to buy.
Right.
That was your that was your best technical entry. It's gone off the 50 one other time, and that was in the middle of March here, and then it's right back up at those tops. So not everything gives you that awesome dip. Nvidia, who knows? Like, I don't know where the bottom would be, but support at 850, 50 period at 800. The 200 period moving average on Nvidia is $550. Back up the truck at the 200 period moving average if you even sniff that. If I see a 6 in front of Nvidia, I want it long. But it doesn't mean it's the one that I feel like I have my chances to get Nvidia. Nvidia gave you some real moves, like 20% pullbacks. It had them. Nvidia had 20% pullbacks on the way up. Microsoft did not.
I mean, shout out to everybody in Texas and Florida, San Antonio, everybody right now, enjoying what is the eclipse, the total eclipse of your heart right there today. So, that's happening right there. So exciting. Let us know, guys. Tweet at us some pictures or whatever if you have any. Pretty fun times right there right now. So yeah, I'm excited. My kids are out there trying to experience this, and that should be fun. So I'm excited to do that as well. So Intel down there at 38. Another name, Costco, I think could be a good one if we're able to buy something cheaply. All right, so Palantir, maybe that top break right here. It's only 240 right now. Not that really does matter. I mean, there's still lots of time to go. But see, that top break then gets you into this, which, is that really worth it? 17s up to 30? I mean, yeah, if you want to play it for a little bit of a scalp situation, I think we could, we could start to mess around with that. Apparently, you can kind of see it right now.
It's not time.
It says Branko, so we'll be going out there shortly to see that as well. But and he's also blind, he just mentioned, so that's good.
Good move, Branko.
2320 for Palantir as a possible top spot there. I mean, Bitcoin, meanwhile, is at 72,000, starting to go back up to the upside. So as Bitcoin starts to go, I mean, maybe the NASDAQ will go with it, although right now it's looking like the NASDAQ wants to go the other way. We are slowly, let's get another piece out here, I guess, on Amazon. Maybe, if we can, up there at 34, 35. There we go, we just got a 34 fill. This has been a good dip buy opportunity for us all day. I'm just trying to stay with kind of the same thing that we've been doing, and that is just stick with it, and that's the long on Amazon and on Apple. We've got both of them, and they're both been pretty good to us so far. I still do want to get some Nvidia back in if possible. So there it is, NVDA, looking to get back in. But again, kind of just I'm not in it yet today, but looking to get in it. Something up here. I prefer the short into the close just because of sort of how the short's been printing for us into the close lately. So that's been good. So we can get that again if we can come up a little bit for Nvidia. It's kind of like a, I'm not really, like I have my scanners going.
It's not, look, Nvidia is $4 from VWAP, $7 from resistance. So I'm up on Nvidia, but it's like, it's not a lot because I had the short and I was holding on, when I worked into this on VWAP, like I was holding for the lows, right? So even though you got like a few bucks out of it, it's close enough to a flat trade that I'll just call it a flat trade, even though it'll be green. Because I was holding for the bigger move. And if you can't get the great level, you don't have to trade it. Like I was just looking at a name you mentioned on the podcast. By the way, check out this week's, I'll check them all out, but the 21st edition of the Markets podcast, where when you were wrapping it up and going into what comes up this week, in terms of earnings, it was like, I think Brendan was like, oh, the banks at the end of the week.
Yeah.
And then you pointed out, no. We have a little something else that we should be paying attention to.
Tilray.
Whether or not you like that or
tomorrow post or pre-market?
It's pre-market, man.
Pre-market, okay.
Or
Yeah.
it's Tilray. I have two of them and they're both marked weed, but they don't distinguish between like the one that's me and the one that's actually Weed Batman. I'll fix that so I don't screw it up. I'll put like Batman on it. But Tilray, it's not moving yet, but you've seen stocks kind of have that afternoon move going into earnings. So you've got support 250. Everyone knows about the short float. I don't have to tell you about, what is it exactly? Okay, fine, 16% short float. But if this could get going early, I wouldn't mind playing something that has a bit of an aftermarket catalyst that might cause some people to position or get out of position. I don't care why the stock moves as long as it does. Whether that's breaking 250 down or maybe taking out this 65 in a bit of a rally. So it's going to be on my radar this afternoon. It doesn't mean I have to trade it, but I'd like to be involved if it starts going. And I know tomorrow, I would expect tomorrow there should be some volatility in this name. See, being patient here with Mara, like I guess I could just short it before it gets to VWAP, but the reason why that's tricky is this is the area I started the short. It's like get some out, get in higher price. Get some out, 15 cents, get in higher price. 15 cents, and then it just goes to the higher price. So I feel like it's under VWAP now, but I want to give this a chance to maybe get a little bit higher if we can. Matt Carnes, recreationals on the ballot this year. They're in Florida. I mean, that's the reality. We want them feds to get in that game. But it's an election year, right? So in election, it seems like the last time we really, really cared about the cannabis names was during the election year.
Yeah.
So this is what we're dealing with, and that's why you got to be able to play them while the move is here. So earnings, it's the biggest earnings play until I think the banks start on Friday. I think it's JP City and
yeah, it's always Wells Fargo. JP Morgan.
There was somebody else on Wednesday, but no, it's not that. It's CPI on Wednesday.
Yeah. I don't even have, like, what's up with this? Like, this is not even showing. I guess tomorrow, if we go tomorrow pre-market, like, normally it shows into here. So I don't.
Tilray that small that they're like, we're not even putting it on.
What is the market cap of Tilray, actually? TLRY.
1.2 billion?
2 billion.
2 billion. It should be on there.
1.9 million. Okay, so it's not on here. We'll refresh this, but we'll get going. I was just going to try to show you guys. Yeah, it's not on here at all. Maybe it's, can we try to get a confirmation?
I'll look it up somewhere else.
First of all, this is not even, like, I can't even click on April 9th, so maybe there's a problem.
Your thing's probably frozen.
Okay, so anyways, we'll figure that out. But yeah, all right, Tilray tomorrow. I was just looking at this from it's still Amazon. We got out some more Amazon. All right, here it is right here. Just looking obviously at the daily chart for Tilray. I'm not sure if it's going to go or not, but it looks like it has that chance to break through $3 tomorrow on a good little short float. So it is tomorrow. Okay, good.
NASDAQ.com has it.
Okay, good. So that's good. All right. Up there, 330. Remember, that's 10%. Like, if you get up to here, that's like 20, 30% of a move. So let's sort of like keep some of our expectation potentially muted here for Tilray moving forward. So, oh man, yeah, still nothing happening. It's still relatively dark. I just got
a friend of mine said 3:19, so it'll be after 3, closer to 3, but after 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And he's in the GTA, so I think that'll be the timing. And everyone's obviously excited for it. That Riley stock is still going, by the way.
Is it? I like the way that
Riley's right. Look at this triple top up. It's like this. No, that's 4 times. Check that. That's like 4 times at 27. I don't wonder, there's about 30,000 shares on the offer. It's only done 1.1 million shares. That's a tricky, with VWAP at 25.5, that's a dicey breakout trade because the volume's not huge. And then what are you holding at $1.50 to VWAP? No, you're not doing that. But a false break that can still hold a higher low, maybe relieve some pressure, that might give you an entry into a stock like this. So that could be worth looking at. Let us know what else is going, man. CXAI, I just saw in the chat. That's an oldie. We traded this one 6 to 690 in the afternoon once, and then didn't even look at it again. Load, 15-minute chart will probably be fine. Like I do remember this was a good consolidation long. It was this name, this day, 6 to 690. It's right at that $6 level. Looks like it's support again. So I'll just go back, close enough to VWAP. Yeah, morning top 590, hold it, back into 6. You just need to be in the trade here. A dip into 6 looks okay for CXAI. I don't really mind that. But yeah, chasing this one, the market's not moving enough for me to want to buy something at a high of the day. That, whether it's Riley or whether it's CXAI, even if it's trending, just give me some kind of a quality entry where it looks a little bit more reasonable risk to reward. That's a bit pricey because what are you giving it, 50 cents on a $6 stock? That's not doable.
We used to trade, let me see this, there's another one, SYTA, Siata Mobile. We used to trade this a little bit.
I remember that.
Oh, wow, okay. So for a $3 stock, the spread is quite big, and it's only 10,000 shares. So, I was hoping that we'd have
Make the market, Sean.
something else. Yeah, I could just close the gap. I don't know if we get filled anywhere there, and then how much money do you make? 10,000 shares. So what you can do is you could just like put a bid now at 340, maybe you get filled there, but with no prints. I mean, I'm just saying, like when you're looking at trades to try to think about what strategies you can do, there hasn't been, so this is all of the trades here since 1230. So it's 250 or so. So you get basically 20 fills or so and no fill more than 100 shares. But see, I just picked that kind of randomly there. 340, the idea, I guess, is that you could close the gap. So if you get a 340 fill, then maybe you get a 351 fill or something like that. But that's, like to make 10 cents, on 100 shares is $10. So we'll pass on that. But anyways, I was just looking at that. Let's look at something that might also be moving at some point here today. Tesla on a little bit of a pullback right now as the market's pulling back in. So we've been getting pretty much out of everything on this move up. I mean, the market isn't exactly busy right now. 172.50 looking good. This is a pullback. Okay, so this is something. Where's the market though? All right, so we are pulling back into the 200. This is normally a good area to buy. You bought the 200 there, it worked. You bought the 200 there, it worked pretty well. And now you're getting another opportunity right here. The only problem is, of course, the market. And I don't really look at the 200 period for the market, although we can put that on there. I'm not trying to convince it. I'm just trying to pick the direction. And right now we're under the 50 and we're also under VWAP. So there could be some actionable trades south right now instead of north, but that Tesla is at a nice little spot here that potentially could see a bounce. So we could take this against 173. I mean, we could almost take less shares against 172.50 and try to hold on to that. So there is a possibility for that trade as well. I don't feel like we're done anything yet, but there's still time in this market. It's only 247. And it looks like the long there on Tesla was right. So we should have potentially got long there at 173.50 or so. We still have that opportunity to do that. What, against maybe that, 173.15, 173. Lots of opportunity here for Tesla. Let's see if we get a dip down into like 173.40. We'll try a bid there and go over to the desk with Brendan.
Much as 50-to-1 leverage when trading Forex at IG. Currencies like Euro and USD can require as little as 2% margin rates and offer $0 commissions trading using a Forex account at IG. For a limited time, traders can open, fund, and trade at IG for up to $10,000 in funding bonuses. Terms and conditions apply.
No, I don't think this is why.
Look, Jam Lucy, could you look at CGC? And then the Pretty Panda was asking about ACB. I'll cover both these at the same time. If it starts going, we just talked about Tilray if it starts going in the afternoon because it reports tomorrow morning. But what is CGC even doing here? I'm staring at it. I haven't even seen a print since I just called the stock up. There hasn't even been a print on the tape for half a minute on CGC. So yeah, you've got maybe a $10 level holding, but okay, let's break out VWAP and show me some volume, baby. I need to see, and then ACB is exactly the same thing. So I'm looking for something where I can either get the fill I want, of course, if I had just gone with Mara, like I want to be short 40s to 50 and risking 10 cents or less. But if you just short 30s, you'd be in the money. If you step outside of the range that you wanted and don't be patient, it would have worked. Maybe the AMD VWAP trade is going to be in there. Sorry about this wick. I tried cleaning up. I'll try doing that again. VWAP at 169.5. It's at 170. That's relatively close. Like, it wouldn't take much for it to get down there. So I'll go back to the VWAP AMD. It's close enough. If it dips under 170, it'll be in the range.
All right, we have a new position right now. We'll see what's going to happen. It is Tesla. I mean, it's only a dime. I'm just hitting the alarm because we are in it right now. I was just like, enough is enough. I mean, I was waiting for 40s. So if we can get a 40 fill, we'll get it. We're still there. If it comes in, it comes in. I just want to take a little piece. And then now this is the problem, right? When it runs, you only have a small piece on. But hey, man, there it is right here. It's 25 cents. I mean, no matter what you're trying to do, honestly, if you get 25 cents, you put in there it is right there. If you want it, you put it in your pocket. I don't know. I'm going to wait. I don't have a I don't know. We don't have a big position here on Tesla, but there's the dip buy into it. We found it, and there it is right there. We can get it out right now for 50 quick cents, spin it up, and then that's that, right? So we'll see, though. I'm going to wait to see if we get back to the upside right now and get going just a little bit. Thing is, we don't have a lot. Like, if I had, for example, my full position, we would definitely be taking something out in front of this 50-period moving average. You have to reward yourself when you're right, especially when me and Neil were just talking about like the volume here potentially being a little dead right now. I don't think it necessarily is. I mean, we were just saying, like, is this what sort of slowed it down? Is this whole eclipse watch? Because obviously, as we're on the East Coast, so is Wall Street. So maybe there's been a slowdown.
Possible,
but I doubt it, honestly. I mean, it's a great event, but I mean, just to go outside and look at it, I don't know. I feel like the market is just being slow right now because of what we said. Lack of earnings, lack of new Fed speak.
And in fairness, we're
Pat
at
Riley
a level.
is still going, by the way.
I just said don't break. Like 27 is a huge level on this.
Texas eclipse is amazing, people are saying. Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Okay.
If it's a thing, here's how you'll know whether it's for real. Like, the market's going to all of a sudden break this range, which, by the way, on the NASDAQ, if you look at it the last few weeks, whenever you get to 18.2.5, 18.3, there's been some consolidation here. So it's a normal range for us to consolidate. But we'll know if after, say, because for us, it'll be like done at what, 320, 330?
Oh.
If things automatically start kicking back up and it's a wild close, who knows? But for then, you've just got to be paying attention. Phil, thoughts on SMCI to the downside? That was getting destroyed today. That got to $900 today, didn't it? 902, low of the day. Oh, wow, it came all the way back to 930. So here's the thing, though. So broke down, double bottom, which is now resistance, and higher lows. So it's trying to, I don't know why I'm missing some data there. So disregard VWAP, because until that fills in, it'll be a little bit off. But higher lows into a flat top, which was previous resistance. You got to be careful with a late day break there. And this SMCI is not typically the kind of stock that you'd want to scalp in this little tight range, because the spread is $1. So inside of a $4 range, it's really tricky. You can't really scalp that when the spread's too big. If you're going to scalp inside of a range, you want a stock with a 1 penny spread. Like Tesla's got enough liquidity. I mean, sometimes it'll be 2 cents, but that doesn't matter. But not this name. It's $1 spread on SMCI. So I think until it either breaks up or tries to break down out of here, with this kind of movement in the market and this spread, there's just no good way to get into position on SMCI. You can try to just get hit. Maybe you make the offer and you get tagged and it doesn't break the high, and then all of a sudden you have a good short. But that's a really tricky game to be playing out there. Wish I'd gotten back into Intel. All I can tell you is it did not get to my level, so I did not, this is even worse to short, I did not short it again, and we're just holding on to the 38.40 that we have. If it gets back and bounces off 38, I should probably take this out because that was a brick wall, but I'll give it a chance to get back down into 38. We're short 38.40. I did already cover, my last out was at 38.07 or something, so if it gets down at 38, it's not as if I didn't take profit there. I'm just holding the last bit, trying to be patient to get a little bit on the offer. SoFi might be going, is it 750, 770? That's the double top here. 770. SoFi could be something. But again, volume. Are you really going to try punching along?
That's the thing. I
I
mean, the
wanna
market's going to go, I feel like.
Like if SoFi had this same double top at 9:30, I'd probably take a breakout long. But at 3 o'clock, when it feels sleepy, I'd much rather have it kind of bamboozle along, pull back, and then you get something 10 cents off that long, and then you can be in position as it makes a secondary run. Just gonna have to preach patience on that.
Yeah, like right now we're 30 cents in the money on Tesla, and I'm trying just to be that patient trade. Like I'm trying to let it develop a little bit here, up 5% into a strong market, I think, if we can get going here. That's what I was saying. Maybe we can get going and then take out some of these highs. Just, it's right here, 18,300, 18,300. That's where we're at right now, 18,325. Definitely something to look forward right there. Yeah, I mean, the CPI data, whoever asked me that, I saw someone ask me that. Was it Rob? Yeah, there it was. There it is. Hey, what's up, Rob? There we go. Do we see a slow ahead of the critical CPI data on Wednesday? Yeah, possibly. I mean, the more this data comes out and shows in the favor of, you know, inflation continuing to potentially go higher with that jobs market report that we got, yeah, I mean, maybe it is leading to the Fed to come close to potentially 1 raise this year, maybe 2, definitely 3 seems to be off the table right now as we do await that data. So the only thing I was going to say, we can look back on this, but we had a big data point there on Thursday, or the jobs was Friday, I guess, where we had a nice move down and then it completely reverted back. So in the pre-market, we dipped down and then we had the up move, then we wound up the day up almost 2%. So yeah, the market could be waiting for that. Honestly, I mean, it's just so many things are just at random levels right now that we've been holding for a minute. Like Apple's right here. We just saw Tesla. Amazon's breaking highs right now. Google, like this is why I think you want to.
Google looks
like. I mean, Amazon's at highs. The high is 188, the actual high. But look at this, at highs. So what I think you want to do is wait for opportunity, and this is what I mean about getting some dry powder, which is what we've been doing, is waiting for opportunities like this, where you get, for some reason, a stock that you like that dips down into levels that make a lot of sense. And this was Google dipping into the 200 period. And then look, this doesn't look like Microsoft or Meta or anything. And it came right back up and then took out highs again. So I think you want to wait for better names to make moves like this and then average into them, take advantage of that, and then not worry. Because I actually don't think, Rob and everybody there in the chat, that like, these data points, let's go. First of all, let's go to the upside right here. It's really nice because Amazon is almost another $1 in the money off this reload for Amazon. Like we really hit this today, man. This was 185.50. This is out 186.90, $1.40. We lost here, in, up, then it came in. We got in and out for like 10 cents right here as it wicks all the way down to the bottom. And then I was really mad. You know, an old Sean would have been like, let's get back into the long. But the problem is the market was coming down, so new Sean says no. We waited for this to happen again, and then when it came in, we realized who we were, and we put the trade right back on. Because no fear. We liked this trade before. We got wicked out there. Lucky that it came back. We put it right back on the board again, and that's, you know, that's what's happening. Good trade there. I mean, we get out right here on purpose. If we can get large, you know, like larger on this trade, that'd be fine. But that's going to have to come in to one of these levels in order for us to get bigger on this. So like 185 again, something like that to get bigger there. And then what I was getting at is just like, I'm not sure the market really cares that much about all this Fed talk or anything like that anymore. It's just, it's 50-50. We're going to have to wait June, and then May is nothing. June's going to be 50-50. We'll see what happens when that comes through. All these numbers are nice. They're nice in the moment. I just don't know if they actually mean something as the market is open and starts to trade.
Yeah, because it's like this.
You're better off seeing what you see.
Yeah, exactly, 100%, 99.999%. Sometimes the numbers, we've been through markets where the numbers are going to matter in real time. But look, does it matter if they start dropping rates in July, or like the actual month, so long as you get a couple this year, probably isn't going to make a difference. It's only, look, if they just don't at all this summer, then I think people get concerned. Like if we don't get anything, if it gets to the fall and there hasn't been a cut, then I think there's going to be some real concern as to what's happening. But CGC actually broke VWAP, so it was kind of just back to back. It's like, look at CGC, look at ACB. And they were doing nothing, but it broke VWAP, and I'm going to buy the dip back into VWAP. Actually, I got 34s on the way back in. I want to pick up some at 30 as well. And then if we're going to stair step this up, like it would have been nice if the thing reporting tomorrow was the one that went, like Tilray. Tilray's not going. But ACB, on the other hand, ACB broke VWAP, but no dip buy. CGC, so give me the one that gives me an opportunity. CGC breaks VWAP and it's going to start going. So I want the 30 long in 20, and then see if we can't get a move into the tops here. So not bad. Good luck on everybody that was saying, hey, have a look at ACB and CGC in the weed names because they might start to kick it up. And they did. They both broke VWAP here. Nvidia's getting close to VWAP. AMD could break out a local high here. AMD's trying to go.
Isn't that crazy? We picked Tesla, and Tesla's not doing anything, and everything else is really starting to bump up.
What's
nothing? Tesla's doing nothing. Apple's doing fine. It's starting to go. We already have a nice high take there on Apple. Look at Apple today. We only have we have 3 trades now: Tesla, Apple, Amazon. That's it. We don't have anything else. As this market continues, this is the market. This is Tesla. Sorry, right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Not doing any damn thing. So I feel like, just a little bit of, I don't want to say, anything crazy's happened here, but Tesla definitely not going to the upside like I would have thought it would have done with this move. I mean, we nailed the market, right? We bought Tesla here at 247. This is the market at 247. So straight up and Tesla straight down. So we'll wait. If this breaks through 173, we're gone. We'll take an L on this, but we will not average into this too much. It's going to be Tesla as it starts to fall back in, as everything else works huge.
Tell me why Rivian's at the high of the day and up 3% today.
Maybe they're switching out of into Rivian for some reason. Was there a story?
Sometimes you can't, if you try to explain what's happening in the market, you're just going to drive yourself mad. It's probably just bouncing off 10 because 10's a round number, but it's at a level, like this is exactly where on Thursday, remember when Neil Kashkari, the bad Neil,
You're the good one.
I'm the good Neil.
We know that.
Neil Kashkari is the bad Neil because when he opened his mouth, everything tanked. Well, this was at $10.45 essentially when everything fell apart, and it's got a bit of a double top up here. So if you're looking for something at a key level, 45 is the high, and it's just begging me to short 43.5 because it's actually printing the midpoint. It probably won't print the midpoint if I get on the offer. But we'll see. Like I look at that, it's like for 2 cents worth of risk, Tesla's going down. It's at resistance, which is a key level. I think the Kashkari tops have been pretty good levels across the board. So there's resistance this morning. I get it, it's a strong stock, but it's at a pretty big level. Aaron's saying ARM crossed 127.
Oh, upside.
Oh, no, it didn't.
Yeah, oh, close.
Wow, it's still, like this is wild. Remember, this in the morning show, we're like, yeah, ARM is looking like a flag that's going to break 27. Well, it tagged it. It then tried again, got to 80. It just got to 85 or 86 and then dropped again. There's just not enough oomph. Like the market needs some kind of a jolt, like a shot in the arm, and something like this, pun intended.
Arm.
I'm doing it for myself. Come on, shot in the arm.
There could have been some Moderna there.
To break
too.
127.
I heard it. I was looking over. I was like, okay, what's going on there? But yeah, ARM.
Insane.
Yeah, it needs that. It needs that.
Not gonna much else. But 127 does look like a breakout, but wake me up when it actually breaks 127, because I don't want to short this thing up here. Like I have no other reason to short it other than the fact it's a round number. Like if I zoom it out, there's like $1 to this high. So I don't want that one short. To me, that's a breakout trade.
So we're almost $1 in the money on Amazon. We talked about that, and we've averaged into Tesla. So we're flat on Tesla right now, 32s. Sorry, 35s. It's at 32. So we are long right now at 35, off of a dip down in. I told you we were going to do this, but again, it's not. It's a position, but because of the shares, because of the movement here, it's not the share size that I would have liked on Tesla. I would have really liked to play dips into the 200 period. Normally, that's really great. But now that we're seeing the difference between the market and the stock, no. As this market continues to fall down, I could see us getting slipped up here on Tesla. So a breakthrough 173, and we're gone. So anything like that, we are out of Tesla on a break of 173. Amazon continues to go. You guys want to know about DraftKings? I've liked 46 on DraftKings as a potential level. And that's already faded out today. Oh, wow, that would have been pretty nice there at 46 on DraftKings. So right there, 46 and change. Yeah, get that garbage out of here. If we do get a nice little push up to 46 on DKNG, yeah, that's a good look. We had this written on our sticky note last week of 46 bucks, but we broke higher, man, into 47, 48. So nice little move high side right now for DraftKings. But again, a fallback into 45. Now let's see what happens from here on. DraftKings, a bid down at 45. I could see that, but you know, waiting on it. Did Nvidia finally make that move?
A little.
You mentioned AMD move.
Nvidia got to VWAP.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I get into Rivian, it's going sideways. CGC is now going. So the second I get into it, now it's going sideways. Oh, okay. That didn't even connect this time. So Rivian not doing anything. CGC, I'd like to get maybe a little bit more because it's holding VWAP. So if I can add to it, maybe a couple cents better, that'll be all right. As you said, Nvidia. I mean, if you want to short Nvidia, I suppose this would be. Like, it's not unreasonable at 74.
I think you'd rather look at AMD, but are you on AMD or Nvidia down? Just because AMD. Oh no, Nvidia's the one more.
No, Nvidia's down.
Nvidia's down. Yeah, okay,
AMD looks like
the other way around.
A little stronger.
Here comes Tesla. Come on, Tesla. I'm still trying to wait for this one as we wait for the okay to go outside at some point.
Max just said it's not really anything yet.
No. My family is on this, so.
Oh, they're out, like, probably sitting on the patio.
Yeah, they're literally sitting outside watching it.
Like,
waiting.
it's the front. It's your front. It's not the.
And the back. Yeah, they're both in both. And Fabian sent a picture out too that it's not.
But that was like 20 minutes ago.
No, I'm saying there was nothing. What was that you guys were just showing there? People waiting at Niagara Falls? Yeah. Yeah, I saw all that there. Yeah,
Imagine
shout out to everybody that's there waiting. No, but it looked nice there in Niagara Falls, didn't it?
I missed it. I didn't get a chance to see.
Thing is, if you're going for something like this, honestly, it's like just to see a little piece, I think, is because you're going for, it's like what you said about your dad. Like, you're going for to be there, to have the experience. And it's kind of like,
well, that's one of,
it's kind of like when you go to the Super Bowl, you don't really know what kind of a game you're going to get. And you just hope for an amazing game.
It'll be a party.
But at the end of the day, right, you're there for the festivities maybe.
Well, the thing about my pops was just, because, like, given where he's at this, and the next one being 20 years away.
Right.
It's kind of like, look, man. And he said, if I get to this one, you're taking me. And I'm like, you better believe it.
Where was the next one
100%.
supposed to be?
So, like, if you're in Canada, it's like, no, it's literally in the prairies.
Oh, you said that.
So, like,
yeah,
I think it was like Alberta.
Okay.
Like maybe like Edmonton. If you know Canada, like there's 2 cities in Alberta.
Ooh, Chef Joe.
And like that's it. Like there's 2 cities worth going to that are even anything. And I've been to Edmonton. I was there for it was like the world age group world championships for triathlon. My wife qualified, and that was fun to experience. But there was literally nothing to do. Like, it was brutally horrible. Like she stayed a couple of days to watch the other people. I go, once your race is done, I'm flying to visit our buddy in Vancouver.
There it is.
That's super cool. Yeah, it's an experience, man, hanging out with a bunch of other people, but when it's overcast.
I wonder how much weed that place smells like on our side of the border. I'm just saying, all those people hanging out there.
It's like Jon Stewart said.
I'm surprised there's not like puffs of smoke.
Have you seen the eclipse on weed?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of Canadians.
Shout out to
a lot of Canadians will be doing that.
Good movie. Don't do drugs, kids.
No, of course not.
As I'm currently buying the dip of CGC.
There goes Tesla, by the way. So Tesla on a dip down in, breaking 173. So we'll slap a fail on that. But again, look, a loss is
literally the same trade could happen. It'll be exactly the same dip buy that I'm doing in CGC that it'll give up.
I mean, I might just get flat, because we've been talking about getting into all of these positions and getting in and out of these positions here into close, and then looking short into the close of the market. So maybe a little bit of a mistake there on Tesla, but I'm still not trying to really hate on this trade. I still like it. It's just it did break through 173. I would really like the long.
It's up 5%. What else?
Just right now. Yeah, no, it's okay. It broke. I think now you got to wait for this level. I just, I don't know. I'm a little bit not lost for words. Just trying to find some trades for you guys, and the market is just doing this little dance. So it looks like we did potentially there. Whatever, we got out at 170. We were at 35s. We were long at 35s. 35-cent hit on Tesla. We should be able to absorb that, and we did. So I'm not going to get back into it. It's definitely not moving the way I thought it would. We said AMD was strong, so Nvidia was weak. So this would be the short then that I'm probably looking for at some point would be Nvidia. But now, of course, the market bounces. We might have just picked the bottom there. But that's what I feel like you're doing right now is bottom picking a little bit and trying to find strength in some names that maybe just dipped, for no reason there. It could be Tesla. That's why we went over to Tesla, by the way. All right, Nvidia, AMD, 170. How good does that possibly look as well? Against 169.60. Oh, so many good opportunities, I'm thinking.
AMD's got a decent.
169.90 if we can get a low.
I was thinking 80 because this low here is 65. I was thinking 80. Here, I'm gonna get on the bid at 80, like in the low 80s. Let's go with Lee Evans. I'm bidding 169 Lee Evans on AMD here.
Is that 82? What number is Lee Evans?
83.
83. Okay.
I mean, look, you had to be a pretty hardcore Bills fan to remember Lee Evans' number. Shout out to the Tennessee Volunteers. Anybody that's a big Tennessee fan. It was.
Well, that's 168.
My favorite wide receiver that no one knows on the Bills is Peerless Price, and I think he was a star.
84.
He was a star receiver for Peyton Manning at Tennessee, but that was his claim to fame. I think it was okay for us. But it's like, look at that. Like, someone just put in it's not going to be in Jersey till 3:45. So what does that even mean for us? Like, is it really?
It means there might not be a market recap show, you know. So my Fabian might have to grab the mic if it's out there during 4 o'clock.
On the mic.
Okay, so yeah, join me tonight with Michael Noss. I mean, I haven't got any updates from Michael, so he'll be on tonight.
Well, that's great.
As we'll be, we're on baby watch for him right now. But yeah, shout out here. Open. How do I open this picture?
Okay, I got the second fill in CGC here, and it's bounced
Matt
off
in the
VWAP.
chat.
So I'm putting an offer inside the range because if it's gonna have a 15-cent range or 20-cent range, I'm an idiot not to take it. No, go back.
This is from Matt in the chat. Matt in the chat who just DM'd me. Matt Carnes there in the chat. So that's what it looked like in Texas. So it'll be fun to go outside and see that in darkness. So we'll see. That should be a lot of fun there, coming out very, very soon. Oh, man, look at Tesla right now, man. We get stopped out and then this happens. Whatever, it'd be 10 cents in the money. We did take a 35-cent hit on it, but it's still there. It's still there. We'll see what's going on, but nice move back up for Tesla. And then missed opportunity. I mean, we're not out of we're not out of anything else, just Tesla. So, yeah, maybe we could buy this 170 here on AMD. Would be nice to get a name that was potential to go higher here, and I think AMD does have that potential. It's just it's 311, so there is lots of trading still to go. Maybe we were too early on maybe we just got a little too excited there on Tesla. But damn it, now up to 59, so there's 30 cents now in the money. We lost 30 cents, so that would make sense. Right back up there. Nice move for Tesla back to the downside. Thanks, Matt, for sending that, by the way.
So
ACBI had a trade too.
ARM broke out. That 127 long on ARM, it's at 130. Like, are you kidding me? Like, everywhere else.
Oh, yeah, big one.
Like, everywhere else we're looking, tell me somebody actually took that break. I mean, there's an outside chance that maybe nothing. I don't see anything hit the wire. I think it's just a technical break and maybe like a little squeeze action on ARM. Oh my goodness, if it comes back in to 128, maybe for a dip buy to pick it up. You got to be kidding me. I'm in CGC and this is at 130. What a clean breakout. But nothing was moving like this. Like I said, I'm not taking it because of the time of day. I'm going to look for a level. Is there even anything up here? 131. 131 on the daily looks like a level. I see you're in it, but 131 on the daily is something. So I think into that, like how could you possibly break like this and not retrace when the futures are at tops? What?
I mean, we're in it. We could have just, we're going to get out in 2 seconds. There it goes. I was going to say, we're in it, and we could have just taken like 20 cents.
Did you hear anything?
No. What are they trying to? No, so.
I'm looking for ARM news.
Oh, ARM news.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see anything on here.
Nothing.
So there it goes, man. Nice move. So I just wanted to short it in front of 130 there. So we tried it. We got out. Almost no damage. We actually lost the same on that as we did on Tesla. Wow. Look at Tesla. Oh, man. That's a good trade. Too bad. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, the wife's saying it's darker, more dark than overcast. I still think ARM could flush. I mean, obviously we would like to see some news. 130.50 there on ARM potentially. We're already long on. I just don't really want to lose a whole bunch here on this if we can avoid it.
I think
I think like we've already sort of avoided losing a lot on this. 131. I mean, if we break 131, maybe fine. There's the reload in arm, so here we go. And here's the drop down. Let's see if we could take this fill. We're short at 130s, so if we can get this fill down here, we should take it down into 129. We're short at 130 flat. I'm bidding 129.11 for some reason, because that's where it was when I hit bid enter. But there is a nice spread on this name. There it is. Yes, sir. All right. Well, there it is. So we have the arm short. It's now in the money $1. We did lose initially on it, which kind of sucks. But, you know, like I said, when you're short here at 80s and then we get out at 30s and then you can make $1 back, it's going to be a pretty good, decent trade there. I'm still mad a little bit about that Tesla trade. But SoFi, new day high. Look, we had SoFi written down on our, I got to fix my watch. We had SoFi written down on the watch list today, and I didn't really trade it. I didn't think it was super exciting. Okay.
I don't think
yes,
anybody's
sir. Arm right now. Let's go. Trying to break down through 129 again. Maybe there was news, maybe there wasn't. I don't know, but I don't see any. So right there, that's 127, as Neil mentioned there. A pullback, I think 128. Let's just put a bid in case we get some kind of a flush down on somebody, like just hitting the sell button there. We'll see if we can get something down there. But if we break too much higher than where we are right here, 130.50, then we can get well away from this name and then say see you later to ARM Holdings. But so far so good as it goes. Okay, the wife said there's an eerie vibe outside, so I am going to go.
Eerie vibe.
Yes,
I like
so I'm going to go check out those and be right back and report back on the eerie vibes.
What did you say? Branko's just said it's just clouds. Okay, well,
All right.
he said, well, look, I mean, no, take a look. I mean, whatever, you can judge for yourself. Yeah, exactly. That's Cleveland. Oh, that's cool. They have it in the stadium.
All right, I'll see you at 4.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Cleveland, Ohio. I'd love to go to that. Well, that's a gorgeous looking park. One thing I know about the Diamond there in Cleveland is they have these like little seats that are like, it's like at field level, like you're just underneath field level, and it's like you're looking, like when you're standing and then your torso is looking out on the field level, which is a really cool notion. I think they're like some kind of suites, but I had a chance to go on one. I just didn't make the trip. I'd love to visit there. Cincinnati's fantastic too. I love that ballpark. But that's something that you should, like at every ballpark, if they're not at home, why wouldn't you do that? So the darkness is what you want to experience, and apparently it hasn't quite hit here just yet. I'm now on the offer of Nvidia, and I'm going to show you why if we come to the chart. Because if I had gotten AMD on that bid off support, fine. But Nvidia's back at that resistance level in front of 874. So I'd like to be able to pick that up, and CGC just gave it up. So CGC, you saw it with Sean and Tesla, where it's like, okay, go for the long on the dip. It was strong. It doesn't hold on. I gave it to the 20 level. We're long. The average was like 32s, essentially. So you're risking 12 cents on the trade. It's not like it's a lot, but had it actually held the higher low, I think you had a chance to be in the 60s, which gives you a 25, 30-cent move. It just can't seem to get going, and it gave itself a chance. Once it was above VWAP, I waited for the move and looked for the long in there on CGC. Just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nvidia, if I'm going to do this play, this range, this whole time we've been sitting here, and the first time I got up there was 20-something minutes ago, and then it dipped down and gave you like $2.50. So I want to make sure I'm getting a price close to 874. I don't want to be $1 away because that's way too much. That's way too much room for how much the stock is moving. It's not moving a ton. So I want to get a good price off the 874 level. But CGC, unfortunately, going to stink. Never got the reload in Mara. So if you were aggressive on the short, re-entry on Mara, fantastic for you. I canceled the order now. I was looking for above VWAP fills, given the way that it worked for me earlier. I was like, well, if it did this to me on the way in last time, I should be a little bit more patient going into 18.5. But if it does not break 18 and bounces, I should cover and take this. You get a couple of points there on Mara. You might as well take it. It's an 1840 short into 18. Breaks down, I'm going to hold to the low. If it bounces, I want to short into VWAP. Rivian, I get into Rivian. It wicks the high. Well, that's a dark pool wick. And it's just going sideways. So it's not going against me. I'm looking for that old VWAP retrace. As long as it holds here, if the market comes down, I think this should be okay. But I'm not going to force myself in. Is it nothing? Are you already back? Or?
No, there's nothing. I mean, there's a whole bunch, like, the whole floor is out there.
But like,
if anything
but there's nothing to see.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's completely like it's.
I figured if there was something to see, I figured you'd still be out there.
It'd be nice if it was sunny, like it's overcast, like those pictures that we were showing you. So it's kind of like,
Like that looks great.
The
Like
cut-
it's, in Cleveland, it looks fine.
Yeah.
The top left is Cleveland.
I mean, that'd be cool to be at a baseball game when that was happening. Of course, not in Toronto because then you'd just be looking up at the ceiling.
They don't open the dome.
Yeah, they don't. Not for that. It's actually quite cold out. That's Niagara right now.
That's
so
what I'm
there,
talking about.
That's kind of what we're thinking.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking
That's
about.
what I want to see.
Yeah, that's what I want to see too.
Your BA is a dump fest, says somebody.
Yeah.
Neil, your Boeing is a dump fest.
Is it?
I mean, it's not. It could be a bit of a flat bottom break.
ARM is a nice.
82s is trying to go.
Yeah, it went.
Maybe,
It's
but
cool.
Not really. It's
Risk
not really that crazy.
Outside.
You want to see something, like if you're shorting in a range-bound market, this is the thing about a range-bound market. If you're shorting in a range-bound trade, it's not like the open, where if you give it a couple of extra dollars, it might just be worthy of it. This entire range is 50 cents all afternoon on Boeing. So shorting a breakdown of the low, as opposed to trying to just get it if it goes 30, 40 cents higher, I'd just give me this trade if I have to sit in something when nothing is happening. You do not need to overtrade. We said this time and time again. I think this is the good thing about real trading, why I think a day like today is actually pretty important. Because it would be easy to just try to put on every single opportunity and every single break. The only move, to be honest with you, the only stock that did enough of a move that is like jump over to that was the ARM, like ARM breaking out and then finding a top.
And we're here.
Like everything else, I was kind of thinking, how could there not be news? I'm still not convinced there isn't news here because that was a pretty decent size move. But everything else is kind of inside of the pocket. So try to range-bound trade if you can. I'm going to hold on to the shorts I have because they happen to be working. But those are trades that I had on earlier, and I missed the reloads because it never got to my price.
You know, I'm just bouncing off 30 here. I mean, we could just take this out and then not worry about it. It is $1.50 in the money here as we chase the eclipse around. But right here, you know, went back in. I was bidding 128, so I didn't really get a chance to address this as it was falling back in here. But now that I see that there is a bottom, we were going to wait for 128 anyways. I don't feel that we missed the trade. So I did put a bid now at 35 because that's that bottom. So if we come back in, maybe we'll run that and then everything else will be all good, as we only have now 40 minutes until the close. So either way, we'll be talking about some nice moves in crypto today, up to 71.8 there at the close. What did we say, USO was up or down? Because I feel like oil was down at one point here today. Let's have a quick look. Okay, maybe at one point, but it's starting to climb its way back up. Still putting a red number on the board, but USO and oil and energy space still continues to be pretty hot right now. XLE was something that we like to look at to diversify a little bit. That's been really rocking. $98 is nice to me there. What else was happening? We had Tesla, and then we had some silver starting to go. We will talk about, like I said, Michael Noss scheduled to come in about an hour on the after show.
I don't know, man. Silver's a hard pass.
Yeah, that would be the other one, Pan American.
See?
I got it. I know you're going to pass.
That's a trader joke right there because only traders are going to get that one, Pan American, PAAS for anybody.
Yeah. I don't know why SLV's not loading up here on the chart, but when it goes, it'll go. Yeah, it'll go with the daily chart's not loading, but that's okay. So the SLV, again, we talked about gold breaking out last week as well. Oh, we got AMD, by the way.
AMD came into 80.
Why didn't I realize that AMD did something?
Because you were on pass.
I was on pass. No, but I should have been long AMD down here at the 50. Oh, it's just here right now. Oh, dope.
Lee Evans' son.
All right. Yeah, that's right. You're already in the 80s. Okay. So there it is right now, 169.61. Again, you know, we did really well on this ARM trade, but ARM, oh, we actually got out on ARM. Okay, what am I even doing?
28.
Wow. All right. As this came through, there it is, $1 and change on ARM, back into the downside, but now back to the upside. So hopefully AMD will continue to go.
How come you don't have one of the flush ones for one of stock tanks?
I have this one.
Oh, you do too.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The only thing I have is this one.
Oh, because I've never seen you hit it.
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
I only have two, so I hit the flush or this one. Bang.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, but I more do it for like the trades getting flushed down, not the stock. But
I like it for the.
that's like flushing myself down the toilet.
Or there's
there.
this one.
What did I have my stop on AMD?
Although that's false because I don't climb trees. My daughter will climb, like she loves climbing trees, but yeah, it's not my cup of tea, man. When I was in Cub Scouts, like I let you want to go climb a tree? Have fun with that. I'm a chill. I don't need that. climb no
You
tree.
don't need
If a bear's after me or some nonsense, or do you climb?
Yeah,
no
I
tree
think
bear?
if your life is in danger,
if our
you
life was
probably would. That would make sense.
So AMD VWAP dip, that's the only new trade. Rivian's still flat.
Get
Intel and
outta
Mar are
here.
moving down and working, but again, those are trades that I was already in. Oh, actually, Mara just broke. So remember the adjustment. So Mara breaks 18. I'm going to trail this now. Goodness, I have a lot of stop orders out there I need to cancel from this that are not even at prices that matter. I have stops from this morning on trades I was going to take that never materialized, and I didn't cancel half of them. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to trail this now out to about 1807. So breaks 18. I'll give it to this local high since the last time it tested 18. And I'm talking about Mara. I did not re-enter at VWAP, or in front of VWAP, I should say, because it never got there. That was obviously a mistake. But we're in it. So I'm going to try to hold down to this low of the day. Like, if the best you can do, and sometimes this is how it is, if you don't find yourself a re-entry on a position and it continues to work, the best you can do is hold on to it because you never found a place that I wanted to add more shares. So if that happened to you with Nvidia, it's like, yeah, you got to hold the trend because if it doesn't provide you another entry point, you might as well just hold what you got and then see if it can't get down to those lows. Not saying Mara is going to get to the lows. So AMD was new. MSTR is crumbling into the close. Well, if Mara is going down, what is Bitcoin doing? I look up, slight pullback in IBIT. I mean, IBIT broke VWAP, but that's not exactly falling apart. But you'll see MSTR and Mara do outsized moves to the downside when Bitcoin comes down. That's why I prefer them. Well, I prefer Mara for shorts. I don't trade MSTR. It's way too spready for me, that stock. You could probably go options on that bad boy. But until they, like if they split or something, it'd be more reasonable.
Right.
$1,500 stock, though.
My wife says go now and look west. Yeah, I know. My wife says go now and look west, so I'm going to go now and look west.
The second you come back,
I will come back.
it'll be like a relay. Like then I'm gonna run out. I'll walk out actually. Yeah, put those on after. You can't see shit when you walk in. You can't, like, you put those on, like, you can't see jack. It's so dark. You'd be, like, running into stuff and tripping. I might have just dropped an S-bomb accidentally, but that's, sorry, kids, if any kids are actually watching this. So you look at Niagara Falls. It's clearly, like, it must have rolled through there a little bit, but New York, you can see is super dark. So it'll be, like, it's now getting out to here. So, Patty, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Like, I'm assuming it's like Ramin is probably gone. It should just be Fabian. Adara, if you want to go, you should go. You should go. Take advantage of it. Get a chance to see it. Just don't look up. Nobody look up unless you grab the glasses off of Mr. Katina out there. That's what it's all about. So again, like every place gets it in a different spot, right? So you want to make sure you get that chance to be able to see it. So like it's already, like Niagara Falls, like it looks like everyone's got their glasses on staring. Some people are packing up because it's passed through. We're a couple of hours away from Niagara Falls here in Toronto, for anyone that does not know. It's not dark here in New York. Well, if it's passing, it might have already passed there for you guys. So it goes like pretty quickly through when you see that totality out there. Why aren't I going? Because I'm going to stay on live for the show for you guys. That's the same reason. So at the TSX, there was one day where they invited like the entire company, all of our back office got to ring the bell. And, I got to do the show, and Sean was with everybody else ringing the bell. And it's just one of those. Like, we're going to make sure we're here for you guys. The point of being live is to be live. I have a stop on my AMD, so I could get up. Like, I'll get out if it breaks the $0.50 level. I have a take profit out there. So you can manage your trades. Rivian's not really doing anything right now. Oh, God, Rivian's literally doing nothing. Like, you kidding me, Rivian? You short off the top, and it's at a key level. The market actually pulls back a bit, and absolutely nothing happens in there. And Piper, go, go, go. No. Principle is priceless. So there's this saying, and this is actually a really good friend of mine from high school. And he had a phrase, he used to always say, principle is priceless, principle is priceless. And what that means to me is when you have a principle like Trader TV Live is on when the markets are on, then that's something you're willing to sacrifice something for, right? Because your principles don't matter if you're not sacrificing. So if we just sort of say, hey, we're going to be here for you guys live at all times, and then we put on like a stupid graphic right now so we can be outside for 5 minutes, then we're not being true to who we are, even if it's not a big deal. And I think like even the little things matter. AMD's bouncing, but not by much. I don't know. Has there ever been anyone that reported blindness from an eclipse? I'm going to make an assumption that it has happened, but I have no idea. I really don't know. I would assume someone probably has done the dumb thing and looked up at the sun and gone blind. There's nothing?
You can go. Look,
I'll go.
You don't need the glasses. Oh, that would have been cool if there was. So I did see like a little, apparently when I went out there, yeah, look at all these guys. Apparently when I went out there the first time, they were saying that it did get a little dark after that, but not much. So here, my wife just sent me this. This is, and again, what's up with the stocks and potentially trading actually today. This is pretty much the best you could see like that. I saw something similar to this with BPI just outside right now. So that's actually pretty good. That's like that's what my wife just got there, sent that over to me. So that's like pretty much the best. Shout out to Power Lines as well. Yeah, so that's what that is. And you know, if anybody was involved with that, that was pretty cool. All right, but look what happens. You love it when you come back and the plan is working. There we go. Thanks, Ramin. That's pretty cool. So I think it's back to business as usual as other traders come out. What's up, BPI? Big Patty Ice.
What's up?
Out here right now. You want to borrow these glasses for any reason here? I don't really see anything happening. But shout out to the Eclipse. And
Nothing burger.
that was really cool. What camera do you have? That's iPhone what? Which one? 13? Okay, that was a nice picture there. Shout out.
AMD's mouth.
Long Apple, baby. All right, spin it. Because there it is, man. Okay, we got, that was pretty fun, man. Maybe we should put that up on Twitter for sure, or TikTok, amazingly. But it has no dancing in it, so I don't know if it's appropriate for TikTok. But right here, it's a nice move up for AMD, guys. So boom, boom. Finally, we feel a lot better about ourselves now than we did with this Tesla trade. But there it is. We make back what we lost, unfortunately, which sucks. Well, it's good to make back what you lost.
Yeah.
But we don't like to have losers on board.
It was the way that you said that. It made it seem like it sucked that you made it back. It was. But
yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, disappointed to have taken the L.
I'm not even wearing this when it's not working.
But anyways, yeah. So shout out. I hope everybody does that, and that was a lot of fun. So we had some fun there. Thanks, Ramin, for coming out and doing that. That puts a smile on my face. Now I think I will go get a coffee in a minute. But that was good. So, all right. Amazon's still $1 in the money, still trying to go back up to the upside. I think Neil and I might have one here. We have not a lot of shares, but we have enough shares on AMD to make it worth our while to start to get some out right now. Again, this is about 1-to-1 or so. We were going to get out at flat. Flat on the trade on the VWAP break.
There might have been something on ARM. I'm just seeing this. Microsoft thinks ARM-powered Windows laptops better than MacBook Air, according to The Verge.
What a surprise! Microsoft thinks that.
Well, exactly. That's why I said like it's kind of an ARM story, but like, what else is Microsoft gonna say?
Yeah, that Apple's dominating.
No, they're gonna say that. But that might be the reason for the spike. It was a technical break anyways. Like it broke, 127 was a flat top break, but maybe that's what got it to get through. That's all I got for you. It might have, someone's saying that's old news. I'm just reporting what I saw because we saw nothing on the wire that whole time when ARM went $3 up. It's not as if we saw a reason for it, so people could be grasping at straws. I just want to make sure that the first thing I saw people might be attributing to maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Lululemon moving, hopefully up. Well, what's up with you, Lulu? What is up with that chart? Okay, my chart stared at the eclipse itself. Lululemon is not doing anything. Oh, I was getting excited thinking maybe it was breaking out. Lulu's up 1% today. That's not bad into a flat market, but no breakout, no excitement level. So for me, AMD, that's a good bounce, not great. But keep in mind, the entirety of the range all afternoon on AMD is 80 cents. So it's like bounce here to here and then out here. Like that to me is like the style. That's the style of trade. Like if you're 83 long into here, that's like 30 cents worth of risk. So if you're risking 30 cents, you take some out if it gets to the 1-to-1 area, but really like it's got to start to carry through. I wanted to break in 25s and get to the upside here. Ryan asking if I'm wearing a Blue Jays soccer jersey. I know it looks like a soccer jersey. It's not. They had a cricket night last year as an event at the Jays game. They had like a famous West Indian cricketer who's like big in India now, Chris Gale. So like he threw the first pitch, and then the first 10,000 fans got this. Although, if you're a season ticket holder, you don't have to be a first 10,000 fans. You can literally get all of the stuff they're gonna do for giveaways on the year and just pay the shipping at the beginning of the year and they send it to our house. So we pay like $50 and then we don't actually have to line up to be the first 10,000. I just get everything sent to me. So I have literally everything they're gonna do for the entirety of the year. So as AMD is about to fill, I'm actually gonna put it at the quarters and get it. Nvidia just popped into that resistance at 874. So I wait all day. I wait all afternoon for Nvidia to get to 874, to get the 50 short, and then AMD long works, and then Nvidia breaks it out. So all this calm action that you had here, the second it gets up to the triple top, I get in and it absolutely goes flying on me. So it's like what you make in AMD, we give back on Nvidia. Sometimes that's just how it is. But the range round trade was what was happening, so I wanted to give it that respect. Unfortunately, not going to work out there. And it's at VWAP now. I'm just going to go over to Intel because I'm still in this one. All right, Intel's fine. But I'm not going to get that fill up at 40s. What I will do, and by the way, ignore VWAP here because whenever I already know, like if it doesn't fill in the rest of the chart, volume weighted average price, if it's not filled in yet, is going to be inaccurate. I can tell you that VWAP on Intel is right around like the 30 level. But if it plays back into 25, worth it. The early look for imbalances, remember we don't actually get that whole number anymore for the entire market. That source is pretty much gone. But we can give you a look at individual names from a source here that we get at Real Trading. Visa, KO, that's nothing. RIG, that's probably nothing, 2 million shares. Juniper, I think that deal is closing, I believe, in the next couple of days, or maybe it's even closing today. So it would make sense it could be a sell imbalance. Juniper is in an M&A deal. CCL maybe could be something, but not over 1 million shares. It's going to be a bit of a nothing burger. Tesla doing nothing. You're right, RB. SoFi. Every time someone pulls up SoFi, I ask myself, has it finally broken out yet? The answer would be nope. There's nothing off of this top. And this is the issue with resistance levels. Like SoFi does not yet want to take out this break on the daily chart. So let it happen. Be happy if it does. I don't know what your position is on AMD. I covered it. It just did like a dipsy do at the 125 to 130 level. You'll see it on your chart there. So I'm out. It looks like we're going to continue potentially to go higher. Moderna might be moving. Is it? I'll look at anything that's trying to go here. Moderna up 2% today. Why is Moderna looking this strong into a potential breakout? I don't recall there being a story on Moderna. That's a flat top break at 05. A little late in, it's a little late in the day for a high of the top breakout though. At 337, I would think. But it looks good. Flat top breakout maybe? Maybe? I just said you don't want to be forcing trades, and here I am considering a breakout at 3:37 in the day when we have to be flat at 4 o'clock, right? Like I mean, in the recap show, you'll see covering of what's moving in the aftermarket, but here, Real Trading, like you're day trading, you're meant to get out of your positions at 4 o'clock. It's not as if it's a hard pass. There are situations where if you can sometimes be in position covering the aftermarket. There's liquidity there, but just not nearly as much.
This is just Chef Joe from Jersey.
That's great.
That's good.
That's a good look.
Yeah, my wife she's got some good. So they saw some good ones too.
Nice.
So my wife said it went black over there, but I don't know. I was out there and I don't know. The traders didn't seem to be so impressed. But yeah, that was a nice one there. Apparently my daughter's all in love with him, and my son's kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, right?
Yeah, he's just like whatever, all that. But he's just like, derp.
Derp?
I don't know. Is that a word?
No, isn't it like derp face or something?
Maybe.
No?
I think I just said derp, I think is right. I think I can just say it. Is that right, Ramin? Derp? Okay.
All right.
Oh, man. All right, DXYZ is over $100.
No, it's not.
Stop that. Thanks to Chef Joe for that as well. I'm getting a lot of people sending me videos of all this stuff, but at the end of the day.
It's at 90, I got to 99.40.
It's got 99 problems, And pretty soon it's not going to be one of them because that stock is probably going to break through 100 and never look back. Now,
You could have had this at $8.
That stock's going to come way back.
Of course, look,
What?
this is going to come back. Huh? To the desk, apparently.
Brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used at our desk by many of our traders every day. See what's moving in the market with Trade Ideas. Check out the link in the description for 20% off.
Piece up because it power on battery.
Battery fully
okay,
charged.
no, it's 20%. Okay, so I should be able to go. All right, so I plugged it in there when I came back. It was up, but it never runs out of batteries.
It should not, and not if it was fully charged. It'll last like most of the
I'm
day.
just going to charge this up. Thank you to Miss Adara, of course, for doing that as we were wondering what was going on with that throw. So, okay, just a quick little update here on AMD. All right, I'm back in the game, baby. Right now I can hear whatever Adara is sending to us. So, all right, that's good. All right, so AMD, we did take a piece out up there on that top side move. Obviously, it comes back in. We get a 30 fill. We just saw that when we came back from the coffee. That's pretty good. We are in less than half of our position, but we still have a decent spot. You know, we're not going to lose money, but you know, if it does fall back in, we still are going to take that piece out when we can down on the downside. Apple falling in again right now. It's 339. We have a very, very small piece left on all of these names. We should have got Apple out there in and around that 169. Let's put an offer in case it does get upside. The only trades we've had on so far this afternoon has been pretty simple. We had ARM until we didn't. We got stopped out, and then it came back, so no damage really done there on ARM, but we did get stopped out. We did hit the short back in there. Again, so a little bit of an up and down. Once again, if we wait for 130 and, well, actually, we didn't really see a top, which was the problem. When we shorted this, we were just using 130 as a top, but then once it finally gave that top, that gave me confidence to get back in. We got in at like 130.10 against that 130.50, and we're able to bring that back in about $1.54, roughly 30 or 40 cents worth of risk, but we needed to wait for that. It's just a funny one because ARM makes that move back, and then if you're going to look, we didn't really have. Was there a 130 top? I thought we looked and didn't really see anything.
There was 130.
Yeah, it's up into here, 131.
I was saying 131 looked like.
This is a good one, 132.50-ish. I mean, maybe if we can get into that tomorrow, somewhere up into there. But again, we didn't really see a top there other than what was made today. So yeah, 131 and change. So that was a good out for us, but still, nice fall back in. Now we're getting back up to the upside. So let's just rest on all of this. Amazon is still, and now, $1 in the money. P&L stock number one there. We will have an L on. We will have a sort of a scratch on our spot today, and that is Tesla. And I'm really glad that we were able. I'm not glad we got out of it because it ripped back up, but I'm glad that we didn't chase anything because it is weak and it is falling back down. That is Tesla. AMD, you know what? Because we have enough shares to do this, let's just take something out now. It seems like it doesn't want to continue too much past 170, but if it does, it does. Let's take out another piece. It is 70 plus 90. Okay, now we're starting to get down. Look at this movement right here, immediately falling. Look at this, right back into VWAP right now comes AMD. So that that went southbound real quick right there.
I wonder if it's worth a quick little reload.
I don't know. This is the problem when you have
It's
this.
342. The local bottom's at 60. I just grabbed 75s, but I had gotten out of the trade.
We had the
so,
imbalance
I don't know. Like
coming.
if it breaks through and just absolutely flushes down, I'll risk like the 20 cents. Because all it has to do is get back to evens. If it gets back to evens, that'll actually be 1-to-1. But with the imbalances coming through in 7 minutes, it's probably the right time to take a tight stop trade there. Because that was so fast from 70 into VWAP. Like if it just were to snap back into 170, that would be okay. Although if it fails that bottom, I just want to double check what was going on. It was SMCI. What was? Oh yeah, SMCI it ended up being a good short at 935 there. See, but you know what? You actually had to give it to 40. So with SMCI, like you had to short 90, like 34 maybe, and then you had to be willing to give it to 40. So like $5, it's actually not bad. But then it's not even like SMCI of all things starts going down and it's not even at VWAP. It moves like $7. So you were risking 5, maybe a little bit more. And if you took it out right now, you'd get 7, and even then the spread's pretty big. So I'm kind of glad I did not go into that trade. So AMD reload, we'll see what happens with it. Wow, okay, that didn't last very long. And then it instantly breaks down. I said it would be a tight stop because I was not gonna give it to back here. I was just gonna give it to the local bottom, like which is right there at 60s. So I didn't wanna risk too much. Ultimately, the market now starting to give it up. Oh, look over at the NASDAQ. I know what happened. Like all that happened is anything that, like the NASDAQ wicks this range that it's been sitting in since 11:45. It's at the same high. It wicked the top, looked like a potential break, and just comes right back down to the bottom. That's a tricky one to get in there. Unless you want, like, depends on where you're averaging into. But like I don't have a level down there that you're averaging into, so I'm not going to try to average into it. But I am going to get out of Intel down here because Intel is, that 38 level is like for whatever reason, is a brick wall on this stock. It just bounced off 38.01 again. Like, look at this. It cannot break 31.
About that level.
So if it can't break 31, then I'm just getting out of the trade. I did not get the reload. We're short here at 38.40. Miss a lower high at 25, and we'll get out at 38. So once again, Intel manages to close at the low. Collision course with, you brought up the chart and said this 38 level. The trend line that I've had up for, it's actually the whole year. That would set up for like 36 to be the bottom. If you kind of draw it from the triple bottom down there at 25, the first lower high when it started breaking out, and then since then it's held this trend line. 36 would suggest a re-entry on Intel on the higher time frame there. So only in Mara at this point. I have my trail in. We're going to give it to the low of the day. Trail's in here at about 18.05. It ticks above that, we get out. So short Mara hopefully gets to the low of the day. Not going to force anything new with only about 15 minutes to go. 5 minutes till the imbalances drop.
Here we go. We talked about this. I mean, here we go. AMD, thanks for the reload. Nice move to the downside. We're now 30 cents back into the money on this name as it continues to go higher. So once again, we'll put some damage on the board with AMD. If we can get something out here in the mid-90s, let's just do that. We've taken some pieces out on the way up. There it is. Give me that 94, and there it is right there. So let's go, man. Fire off the hot dog cannon for, again, another one. One losing trade here today. And like I said, it'll be a good trade. We did insert some more positions, right? We got ARM here. We've got Apple here as well. We've got AMD. So far, what we're doing is we're just trading our notes. We're trading what we know to do. And we've been really, really doing well on that. So here goes AMD. We're almost out of it all. Good reload down there. We told you we were going to get out at 50. Didn't break. 7 or 8 cents away. Boom. Straight up there to the upside goes AMD. So we're putting that one on the board as well. Amazon, I'm just going to start to put some of these in. I mean, like I said, we can't really go wrong on any of these trades. So let me just figure this out. All right. We don't. Do I have stops for Amazon? Yeah, the Amazon stop is at 184.80. So as you could see, we were going to risk 11 cents to make 71. All right, 185.48 right now. That drops out. We will get out. Just make sure. All right, goes pending. Good to go on that one. Apple, we left this one a little bit too long. I feel like we only had 10% left of this trade, which is not that much. That's not even 10% of that trade. It's probably more. It's just we took average prices all the way in here, so not very many shares, or we'd be worried about it. AMD, Apple, and Amazon all in here into the close as we wait for this. It will be another big day, so again, pretty happy about it. But it's been a tough day for sure. Rig, it hasn't been. It just depends on what names you're looking at for sure. Nikola right there with the sell. These are all not posted yet. These are all from 9:30. So in about 2.5, 3 minutes, we'll be able to figure all of that out. We did take advantage of ARM. Going up to the upside there, but unfortunately we got stopped out at 130 and back in as ARM came right back in and now looking to take out 128. So all is good on that so far here for ARM and for everything else, but not bad with only 2 minutes left. And then we'll have the imbalances, then we'll have the recap show. And no Ryan, although I was invited to go to the Pittsburgh game today versus the Leafs. What? Oh, Dara, yeah, we'll do that in a minute. This should be on, but I'll have to check. Again, it must not be. I have my own kids' games tonight, so I will be at a rink, just a much more important one than the Maple Leafs. Go get them, Adara.
Quick look at some of these S&P 500 strong and weak names as we head into the imbalances. We have Kroger down about 3%. on this Xane BNB Paribas downgrade to underperform. We also have here a lot of analyst names here. This strength in monolithic power system getting a price target increase with an overweight rating here from KeyBank. Last but not least, we have BofA Securities getting and Jefferies upgrading Huntington Bank shares HBAN. So lots of analyst moves here dictating some of these S&P 500 names, guys.
There you go. Thank you, Adair, for that. I've moved down. It's 349, I should say. I've moved down the trail on Mara again, just holding it from earlier. 17, like I'll give it to like this 1797 area in front of that 18 because it looked like it was going to break down on some volume. If it does a reversal, when the balances pop out, then I want to make sure that I'm not going to be holding this back into VWAP. Just take the money and run. And then again, like Mara, this is with Bitcoin having a strong up day. Like IBIT, and I know it's a 24-hour market, but IBIT is up like 6.5%. If you track it like a stock, then you look at where the previous close would be. Although I understand you don't really get a percent move like that. And Mara's down 2.7%. And as long as this holds true, I think the halving is mid this month, like the 18th or something like that. Then I think this is a short almost every single chance you can get. I think the mid-teens here, the 15, 16 level, might be the spot where it gets into a long for Mara. But until then, stock's been a short until it ain't. So why not go into that and with that attitude? And when I see Bitcoin start to roll over, jump over to Mara, coin was a different beast today, but it's actually going to end up doing not a heck of a lot. Ending up back toward that 254 level. So good off 250. 254 looks like it'll be something tomorrow. But Mara just came out, so that'll be the last trade, I think, unless something crazy just hit at 350. But I'm out of it right there at 1795. The biggest imbalance is TLT. 2.6 to the sell side. RIG is 1.6 buy. That's not a big deal. BAC 1.1 million. Intel's 1 million to sell for what it's worth. Amazon, the biggest of the big tech, 900,000 to the buy side. Overall, the total number is 780 million to the sell side. So not a very big imbalance, but it is favoring the sell. And you saw Amazon, oddly enough, a lot of times like the big cap tech names, whatever direction the biggest one is, that's what the market will be, but not today. Like Amazon's 900,000 to buy. I don't see any other big ones there, and it's actually a sell imbalance overall. So very mixed going into the close.
Yeah, Amazon's not doing too much here. We might just take it out. We have all three winners. So if you're following right now, we have 20 cents in Apple, we have $1 in Amazon, and we have 20 cents in AMD. And AMD is going to be a good one. We'll wind up making more money in AMD than we wind up losing in Tesla. So that's, I mean, I guess depending on what happens to this one. So that's going to be pretty good there into the close for everybody. And then just because Neil said that it was a sell imbalance, let's just take some out here on Amazon, or just take it all out if we can. There it is right there. DXYZ. I told you the next time you see 100 might not be again, or 99 might not be again, but who knows? Breaking through $100 right now goes DXYZ up another 70% once again there today. So if you thought you missed the opportunity on Friday, you did not. You missed it today. Up to 103, 104, still going higher. DXY would have been nice to have gotten reloaded if you were in that one, but not many people are. Apple, AMD just drops down in. That's fine. We get out of AMD there, and we got out of Amazon, and here comes Apple. Let's just get out of Apple right here, right now. That's it. We are done. And that ends the day right there for us. Really, really good day. Needless to say, but you know, Apple, AMD, Amazon, all positive names, and whenever that's true, that is true. We're gonna have one red shot here. That's gonna be Tesla, and you all saw me take that trade. So there it goes right there. You saw me trade AMD to the north side. Boom. We had a very, very small piece, 10% probably left, maybe even less. Nicely done on AMD. One red name today, and 3 green ones, so pretty good. ARM is a flat trade as we discussed. So Apple, AMD, Amazon, and then Tesla and AMD are basically a wash. So my whole day today is Apple and Amazon, both green names, both sticky note names. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Nasty day on DJT, by the way. That's going to close. I didn't realize it just held 10% down the entirety of the day. If you look at squeeze names, I'm not lumping DY XZ into a category with DJT because obviously the holding company for DYXZ is holding some names that are really, really interesting. Whether it's SpaceX, whether it's Stripe, whether it's OpenAI, like those are very interesting names. And there's a something there to a lot of them that I want to get in. But at the same time, when a stock is in a squeeze mode, and my daily chart not really loading, when it's in a squeeze mode, you can obviously know that if it starts to turn around, the nature of acceleration to the downside can get pretty nasty. So that would be the concern I would have with this Destiny holding company, is that it's been such an incredible rise that the day that it pulls back, like what it did on Friday when it got to 75, it was at 45. Now it's just gone back up to 100, but there is a pullback to 50 or 60 that would be nothing compared to where this stock came from. It was an $8 stock, and the breakout happened at 30. So those kinds of things are in play. It's about 5 minutes to go with 1 minute till we probably see a flip on the imbalances that were almost nothing. Amazon holding up. Apple actually ended up showing up late there for 1 million shares to the sell side. That was not there when I looked at it like 3 minutes ago. So I don't know if Apple's actually moving off that, but Apple was not there to sell when this imbalance came out. And someone asked me, where are we getting the imbalance feed? So here at Real Trading, it's actually built into P-Pro 8, our trading platform. It's just an imbalance locator, and then you get the feed directly from the market. If you have direct market access, then it's in the SIP feed. So if your broker, if you have direct market access and you don't get it, then you can ask your broker if it's available on your platform. I can just tell you it's in our platform here at Real Trading. So Apple actually did move to the downside. That would have been nice to have seen when it flipped, but I didn't catch when it did. So Apple going to close almost 1% to the downside with the market being flat. Not the best look, Apple. Hold on to this October low is all you can do for it. If Apple takes out the October low, we're in trouble.
Look, this is the craziest thing about what we do over here, and it's not even that crazy, really. Apple going to be a top name, one of the top names here traded today, Apple, Amazon, and we've written it down here as a long as we get into the lows here, and still able to make our whole day on that as well. So there it is. Buy them early, get out of it late. There's that dip right into the close. And if you're watching this show for the first time, you know that these imbalances, or you don't know, but these imbalances can really, really affect sort of the flow here of the market. So just be careful into the close with those kind of things. We got out of Amazon right before, or just as that imbalance came out. So that turned out to be a really good one there for us getting out of that. As Amazon pulls all the way back down, and then AMD, unfortunately, made that little dip down, and we got out for flat there on that last piece. But that's what it's all about again. Shout out, thank you so much, Kevin Mendoza. Yeah, it was another good day today. Rocket Lab, greatly undervalued, says Dr. Gold Turtle, maybe. Rocket Labs again. I think there's always something to be in there. The drones, the labs, the rocket companies, all this kind of stuff. RKLB, I believe is, yep, there it is. So that is Rocket Lab down here at 370. I don't know when their next report is, but not doing too much today. So that's something else there. And then ARM, yeah, watch out for ARM. A lot of movements here today. Should be something spicy into the close. But
what's crazy about ARM is, remember all of that hoopla about the IPO expiration and how it could potentially, hey, what if SoftBank sold? Well, if they have been selling, it hasn't been moving the stock that much. And congratulations to them, because this was, I remember when this was at 120 and you're like, yeah, the expiration's gonna happen and it could be double digits. Instead, ARM is just holding on to that 120. I had the breakdown trade on Friday. Like you'll remember, it was a flat bottom break at 21. I'm like, I'm taking it if it happens, because if the stock does flush, I think it could go to the doldrums. It just didn't happen. Had the short, got out of it when it got back above here, so you could limit the hit. But ARM just continues to press higher and probably defy a lot of expectations. This is what can happen when you have a stock or a business that it's a lot of insiders that own it. Like all the major chip names are involved here, like Nvidia and Intel have pieces of this one. And much like ASML, they're in everything. Like their technology is in every chip that you want to be energy efficient. Straight up. Like that's just how it is. So maybe it's overvalued when you look at the traditional metrics, but price doesn't lie for now. riding the 50-period moving average, not being sold off when everyone said it was going to be written off for dead, and still has a relatively low float, right? So because of that low float, you're going to have a situation where when it starts to go up, the shorts are squeezed a little bit easier because there's not a lot of available shares out there. Oh, Kling Daddy, I was very loud with the impact. I own ARM shares in the 60s in my personal account. I sold half my position at 120. Like, this is going to come back down, and I'm going to be able to pick them back up. I was wrong about that. I'm mad that I didn't buy more shares when it was lower. So, you know, you kind of, all you can do is have a plan of action if something occurs. And then when it doesn't occur, what are you going to do? Like, you can't, I'm not going to sit here every day forcing an ARM short, which you don't see me do. But if I see an opportunity for like a flat bottom break, then I'll probably jump in there and take it on the chance that it does happen. So it's more about having a plan of action in case a big event goes the way you expect it to. But if it doesn't, then just don't force the trades. It's not a big deal. With only 1 minute to go, Matt's asking me what the level 2 looks like on TRGP. So I don't mind. I'll look at it's 1 cent spread. It's at 116. It's doing some volume, whatever this is, Matt. But I don't know. It's got a 1 cent spread with no size. So this stock, it's falling, but there's no size or anything. So I'm not sure what the story is with that one. If you're in it, it's moving, but no big size on it whatsoever. So stick around. On Eclipse Day, it was here very, very cloudy, so you couldn't really see a heck of a lot. But you do still get to see both the countdown, and then after we drop it, the recap show, just as normal, and it'll be Tilray reporting earnings tomorrow morning. So let's get it done in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ring it. Thank you very much there, Adara. So the market is closed. It'll end up being, I'd say, a little bit of a disappointing. It's a flat day in the market, but it didn't go down, so that's not bad. You had good movement on ARM, not a lot of movement in the afternoon. It was good to hold on to your positions that were in the money, like I held the shorts that were working, and then you talked about the longs that Sean had that he was able to hold on to. But remember, at the end of the week, you got earnings season coming back with the banks. We're going to get Tilray tomorrow morning. You saw a little bit of the weed name start to go out. I still have it on this TRGP that Matt was asking me about. That's pretty much it. But thank you to Fabian and Ramin on the 1s and 2s, holding it down like they always do. The man is back on the midday. Sharif joining Adara. Fantastic, as always. Obi filling in for him, but good to see Sharif back. And he got to walk with lions. I wouldn't do it, but that was his thing, and he absolutely loved it. This morning, shout out to Michael Noss. I'm going to assume Michael Noss is going to be on the afternoon with Sean because we haven't heard on the Baby Watch. So shout out to him. Shout out to Brennan doing a great job as always. You know who I am. It's going to be Mr. Katina, the market recap, with Mr. Michael Noss as special guest. See you guys. Thanks, man.
I mean, the show on mute might be better. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me here today as we get the market recap show kicking once again for you on a Monday, on an uneventful Eclipse Monday. Happy anniversary to my parents on a day today, April the 8th. All right, what was up? What was down? UNG up a little bit today. We're going to welcome Michael Noss coming through here momentarily. We'll do a couple of questions. I want to talk to him about some silver moves. He talked about silver earlier. We'll talk about silver late. So traders are staying late, and I want to thank everybody for staying with me as I get ready to rock and roll here with the show. I'm just going to load it up so I can get the roll call going. It was kind of a crazier day here today with not that much happening. We can go over to the triple Qs. I mean, relatively uneventful day, kind of opening and closing almost at the same spot here. We'll flip it over and put up like a 5-minute chart just to have a quick little look to see. Let's go 10 to see what happens. I mean, look at this. Up, down, and around here for the triple Qs. This is the chat that I'm talking about. I want to welcome everybody that is here right now. Hey, what's up, Cali Fortune, says Mr. Katina. Yeah, it's not roll call yet, Christopher Holcomb, but this is welcome to everybody right there. Bang, as we have Stream Deck going. What's up, Colin Clark? And what's up to everybody else that is here today? Look, I mean, this is the NASDAQ. We had a nice move early up to 442 and change, then a little bit of a pullback, and this is all afternoon. Not much happening. We did have a runner this afternoon, a little bit of a runner, I was going to say. ARM tried to get going back up to the upside. Quick flip over to the daily chart on ARM. Still a ways to go. I really like the short in and around 150, but it's hard to short a market, especially like ARM, I think this is actually a long for your long-term portfolio. And it might be in there right now, man. This nice little level here at 120 could be something there for ARM. So yo, what's up to everybody? What's up, Ravi Patel? Saying, yo, what's up to me? All right, so here we go. Let's just have a quick look at what stocks we're bumping around. Then we'll show you something on trade ideas. I got to be a big shout out to Michael, who's coming out in just a couple minutes. Google right there, up 1.4%. So despite the NASDAQ not doing a heck of a lot, Apple to the downside, Nvidia today to the downside. Almost time to buy some Nvidia, I feel like. Meta down a little bit now as well. I'm not trying to be afraid to buy Nvidia. We will talk about that in a couple minutes. On the podcast, of course, just another show that we're doing. Eli Lilly down 1%. Merck down 1%. We talked about that. I'm a little bit worried about some of these names for drug pricing. It's a little bit egregious, I feel like, trying to ask for $1,000 a month for Ozempic, Wegovy, and all that when it's come out to cost pennies on that. So $4 to $5 seems like charging $1,000. I know there's costs associated with all of that, but we'll see on that. Show is brought to you by Benzinga Pro. So as Benzinga shows up, any news stories will bring them to you live here, as we do have all of this coming through. Bloom Energy. Ooh, a little bit of BE action. We'll see if that's moving around. I don't think so. A little tax credit there, a little tax credit for Bloom Energy. Yeah, not much happening here in the aftermarket. We'll drop back down to a 1 minute. Oh yeah, okay. 1160 up to 1170. Bloom Energy goes bang. We had a fun day today as well, as we waited all day for the eclipse. I want to thank everybody that sent all those nice pictures in regarding the eclipse. But it seemed like it was a relative nothing burger. Oh, how about this? Shout out to Michael Nas. He's coming through in just a couple minutes. But look at this. This is a board. Whoa, do not hit X. This is a board that he created for me. These are all the different, you can see it was quite a green day today. So for XLU, we can dig down and see what names were leading the way. Right? So if we're going to go to financials, we can see PNC today leading the way higher, right? Good opportunity to have a quick look at all of this. PNC to the upside. And you could just sort of dig in. Look at what names, industrials, right? PayX, PayC coming through here. So just a quick little look at Pay.com. And then right into here, Paychecks making moves higher. So again, pretty cool. Albertsons, that's food. Albemarle coming through here with 7% for the materials coming to the upside. FSR, Fisker, I don't think they have OTC charts on here, but Fisker was up a little bit today. So a big shout out to Michael, who's coming in. Look at this, consumer discretionary, led today by Tesla. So a nice move up for Tesla today. CCL as well leading the way higher. Is Carnival Cruise Lines possibly at a bottom here as well? So again, a big shout out to Trade Ideas. You could really see some of the opportunities that you could have here, building different layouts and looking at different sectors. So financials leading the way today by PNC. Nice move to the upside. We had this stock Riley. I mean, this move was, let's scroll this down and look at Riley over here. RILY. So B. Riley Financial really starting to break out. Shout out to Michael on this one. If he's looking at B. Riley, Mr. Noss, look at how good this looks. I mean, to me, it looks like we're starting to break out here. A financial name that I don't know that much about, and I'm not sure if this is right at all or not. 81%. Not that I don't trust Trade Ideas, because I do. Let me just check this out here. What is the short float on Benzinga? There's nothing wrong with checking out multiple. Let's go here. Riley. All right, let's go to that. No doubt checking out different, I guess what I'm looking for is different resources to go. RILY. So let's see what they have here as a short float as well. Riley, yeah, so the one thing is I know where to find it on the other one. I will get this in just a second. It's on here somewhere. Short float. I don't see it on, oh, there it is right here. Short float, yeah, okay. So 68% short here on B. Riley Financial, starting to go to the upside. We really like that name. And the reason why I like this, look, we'll go back to the news feed on Benzinga, is look at this. You are right now poking your head above. So, I mean, look, whatever we say, we have a sort of a move up here in RSI. So we think we can get going on the RSI. It's at 68. We're not making lows on the RSI as we come down, which reminds me, Michael told me about Epic Pen. So I'm supposed to load that up as well. And then we can sort of talk about it. But look at all of these tops coming into play right here. Look, top there, top here, top here. But look at the RSI still hovering around 70, has a chance to get higher. Does it look like we're going to break on Riley? I say yes. Shout out to whoever that was in the chat for that one, because definite good movement there on Riley. Let me just close this and bring this pen over here. Here it is, Epic Pen. I like it. Thanks for that, Mr. Michael Noss. Tan, everything else starting to blast out a little bit. We don't want this out. XLF, there it is again. JP Morgan. Now again, if you're going to talk about financials, they have their report coming on Wednesday. So JP Morgan really looking nice to the upside right here again. This is what it looks like on a daily. Check out what this thing looks like on a weekly chart. I say you just keep on buying these names. On a weekly chart, one red candle on a weekly chart for JP Morgan last week. I know Michael looks at weekly candles, but this looks pretty good to me, man. And again, maybe you're gonna get some support back down here at 173. If we ever miss on JP Morgan and have a chance to pull back into that 170 mark, I really do like that for JP Morgan. So again, right back into here, 180 potentially coming in. But as you can see, I know what Michael's going to tell me. Look at RSI, maybe topping out here and starting to head a little bit lower on the RSI. Let me know, Michael, if I hit that. Topping action in the market, but RSI starting to head down, potentially oversold, overbought conditions for JP Morgan. So we'll have a quick look at that come Friday. But the big report that I think we're all looking forward to, I don't know if it's going to be that big or not, but Tilray, the name that we have that up for tomorrow, right? Actually, we didn't talk too much about crypto. See, I have a comma there beside earnings. There's nothing else. I thought there was a chance for something else, but there is nothing else. So Tilray, will wait for that coming through tomorrow. Again, looking like it wants to make highs up there near $3. All right, Neil, enjoy the game. I hope it's a W for the Jays. So Neil off to that game. Everybody who's watching Major League Baseball today, especially here in Toronto, a big one, as we unveil the new seating, the new stadium sort of structure there. Should be a fun one. I know Neil will enjoy that. So shout out to the Blue Jays and a possible win today for the Jays. And we are filming more TikToks, so there we go. Shout out to Neil and Adara doing some TikTok. Check us out on TikTok. Yeah, right. There it is, on all socials. Scan that, like, subscribe, and all of that. Thank you to over 2,500 watching us as we get ready to rock and roll. What I want to talk about was actually MSOS. So some of the marijuana names coming through again today. Just looks like we could pop through, man. 1050, I like that log, potentially watching out for MSOS. Down here, 10 doesn't look so great. Maybe into here, 8 and change. Down for some cannabis. Again, right into here, looking like a good level at the 50-period moving average there for cannabis. But if we're going to look at something, I would say CGC. I really liked Aurora today, possibly breaking. We did come into that 750 area. I just thought a break high for Aurora would have been good. Short float, 21%. What was Tilray's short float again, quickly? 16%. Okay, so still in the pocket there. We are going to talk about silver with Michael. All right. So hopefully Michael will have some names for us. He came up with Pan American, PAAS, maybe another name. But just in looking here, look at the weekly here for silver. Now, an analyst, I think from Kitco, came out. I did have a note about this, did talk about silver potentially also being a good play. Here it is right here. Kitco long positions might have something to do with, it was Niels Christensen noted that silver may have a better inflation hedge than gold due to its industrial uses. So that makes sense as we continue to make things. Silver, more use than gold. Gold been a great, great little hedge, obviously, but forget about hedge. And I think it was with Michael on Friday, we talked about the trend. Oh, darn, Adair left. I was going to ask for a water. We did talk about the trend making moves higher. Silver maybe now just getting going. Like, what about when we break through 28 and change? GLD has had a nice move higher as well. So there goes gold breaking through 193 to the upside, breaking through 200. So what happens when we see silver try to follow the rest here? What was it? XME, I think, was brought. There it is. Wow. See, Michael, I listen. XME talked about that. If you want to get everything, metals and mining ETF coming into play here for traders today. Watch out for this. If you're just not specific on individual silver or gold, XME looks pretty good, breaking out as well. So, all right, what else was in play today? We could talk a little bit about that late move there in ARM. We weren't able to get into Nvidia, but look at this. It did have that pull up to 874. I don't know how we missed that. We were trading AMD at the end of the day, and we'll go over some of this, but AMD, nice longs here off of VWAP, taken to the upside. That was a banger of a trade. We wrote down on our sticky note, and we'll go over this maybe at the end, but we had some great trades with Apple today. So again, Apple dip buys into Apple, into the long. That worked out. Why did I like Amazon today? It was breaking out highs, man. Its high is 188. We came pretty close to that for Amazon today. It looks like it does try to hold out for that 188 top in the pre-market. But look at Amazon. We're getting pretty close to taking out all those levels and just continues to march higher. Just little like beat of its own drum. Just tick, 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 bang on that. I am very thirsty, but I can't do anything. You know what? Maybe when... Okay, thanks, Ramin. I was going to say maybe when Michael Noss comes on, we'll run and get some water. But so far, so good there. A couple good trades today. It doesn't take a lot of activity to find those good trades. There was like, I think, 3 positive traders on the floor today. That's it. Okay? And yeah, it was a good day for us. We traded 4 names. We traded Tesla. But look at the mistake when we're trading Tesla. And we're going to go to Michael in just a couple seconds. Look at Tesla. When we're wrong on this, and Michael can attest to this, it's not worth being wrong for very long. So we got into Tesla, it broke. As soon as it took that bottom, sure, we got out on a 173 break. It does come all the way back up there, but we don't have to worry about it. And when it dips back in, this lets me get involved. When that came back down, it let me focus on something else, and we chose AMD long. So what we lost on Tesla, we wound up making back on AMD. So this was one of 4 positive names: AMD, Apple, ARM, and Amazon for some nice wins there today. So not good, not great. There it is right here. Someone's comment here. What's up, Dr. Gold? Oh, we got to believe Dr. Gold. He says, no, silver is great, but not as a hedge on inflation. Okay, this was coming from Kitco. Niels Christensen from Kitco is what I read there. Why? Because central banks. Yeah, look. I mean, as long as we keep on printing money, we know the way that this story is going to end, and the market probably be okay. Will the dollar be okay? We've had some nice moves up in the dollar recently. That's very, very interesting. Wow, this is nice and cold, but it's Hydration Nation. Damn, that tastes so good. All right, it's Trader Talk. Are we ready? Yes. Let's go. It's Mr. Noss. Michael, how are you, my friend? And first of all, a big shout out. Thanks for that layout. I was showing it today. I come to the screen here quickly. I'll explain it while I have Michael here. But wow,
absolutely,
what a great opportunity, Michael, to be able to see the different, because we talk about ETFs on this show a lot, like XLI, what's running over there, what's running in consumer discretionary, Tesla is, what's running in the financials. Thank you so much for building this. And I'm going to say this to you and to everybody else. You can get Trader TV 20, and then they can email you. Any of our viewers that have hit this promo can definitely message you, find you on X, build something similar. Hey, if you have some spare time, which might not be for very long, but that's something that's really cool about the Trade Ideas platform, the customizability.
Yeah, and the ability to share layouts, I think, is big because, you know, especially people like you, I've been there when you're recording the show. I know you're way too busy to sit down and build something like this. So, yeah, I absolutely love it. This is a kind of a twist on a layout, a doc that we've had for a long period of time. Yeah, you can see I have it up here as well. I love these but little bar charts that might be hard for the viewers to see on the bottom. This is showing what percentage of the stocks are up or down in the market. So, for example, utilities, 96%, 97% of all names in utilities were up today. That to me is slightly worrisome with an up day in the market. I don't know what you think about that, but if people are buying up utilities here, that's generally, in my opinion, a more defensive play. So I wonder if you noticed that.
I did notice about utilities today. We did talk a little bit about those. GE, have you seen the run that GE's been on as of late? It did have that move down because of Verova, their GEV, when they released that. Actually, this is a nice move today. Vernova, GE, up 6.2%. But look at this move. You want to talk about industrials, Michael. Huge move up, and then you get that, it's not a split, but they released some, or what do you call it when you spin off?
Spin off. Yeah.
Unlock some value with that spin-off there. Nice move for GE. And then Caterpillar, Michael, acting as if this is like an Nvidia type of name. Caterpillar, really making moves up. But you know what, Michael? When I look at this, you know what I see? Look at this, man. A little bit of a move down in the RSI as we hang out to the top. What do you think maybe about Caterpillar? Am I potentially onto something? Maybe getting a little exhausted as the RSI could be pretty toppy, Mr. Noss, up here around 80.
Yeah, you spotted it head on, right? That is an RSI divergence. Now, the important thing to note, and I know you know this, but for the viewers, is that this is a potential warning sign. Doesn't mean that, you know, Caterpillar is going to tank tomorrow and you know, the stock's going to go bankrupt or anything crazy like that. But they can be warning signs to say, hey, things are looking a little bit extended. And one of the things, as you brought up, Kat, I think there's a perfect example of what may occur here. If we just go back a little bit further, maybe to there, you can see Caterpillar's making higher highs.
Yep.
And then at this time, it had that RSI or that momentum divergence as well.
Right.
And then it didn't sell off dramatically. But if you look at the period after that RSI divergence, you had, what, a month, maybe two of just kind of sideways action. So again, I don't know if this is going to pull back dramatically because of it, but it is interesting to see the last time this happened, you would have been best to kind of move on to other things and come back to Caterpillar when it broke out of the space.
And I think that's something that's important, that a lot of our viewers understand, that when, you know, traders like myself or yourself talk, we're just looking at areas of interest, what could possibly happen. We unfortunately don't have that crystal ball, but what we do have is back testing. And we could see this has happened before, so what potentially could happen again? And then we get people in the chat talking, well, the Fed could do this, the Fed could do that. Yeah. I mean, anything can really happen. That's why we put stop orders in and we have ideas to what we are looking for. I just want to say one more thing, because Darwin in the chat here, shout out to Darwin. Michael, he said that he messaged you and you responded almost immediately to him on X. So there it is, and a big shout out. Thank you, Michael, for being a real one for us here as well. All right. I know you talked on the first show about silver this morning when you were here this morning. Silver continued today, I guess. We didn't look, I don't really, oops, not KSLV, SLV. I don't really look at it, you know, throughout the day, but maybe that's a mistake. Let me see what it did here on a 5-minute chart or a 3-minute chart for the day. So we did have a nice dip down, pretty good base down there at 25 for sort of the day traders. But again, look at this. We closed there yesterday, or Friday, 25. We dip into that area and then we just get bought up. So potentially found a nice little support area. Anything interesting that you're seeing for anybody that's looking to trade some commodities or anything like that? I know you have SPY up as well.
Yeah, so just one thing I wanted to point out quickly, and this could be why nothing really moved too much, is that this, just looking at the volume of the S&P 500 today, nearly half of what it was just a couple days ago, and then, you know, almost a third of what it was a couple days there. So I wasn't really excited to enter anything today, knowing that the market wasn't really doing too much. But I am interested in silver. Now, the problem I have, and this is a problem I talked about in the beginning of this morning, is that it's a little bit extended, right? So I talked about PAAS.
Pan American,
P key's not working. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. So just up a little bit too far. You know, I need to see it come back to, it broke out at about $17. The 8 EMA right now is about 1650. There's a lot of things that are looking a little bit toppy on this, which again, it could continue to run. It's just for me, I need a good place to put my stop loss order. And I'm not super interested in chasing something that's up from 13 all the way up to 18. I did take a look at this, and this is a little bit more of a
Oh
speculative
yeah,
play, but this HYMC.
a little
Uh,
AMC action.
yeah, absolutely destroyed over the last couple of years, down like 99.9 something percent. But a nice little breakout here 2, 3 days ago. Pulled back, came right into the ADMA, came right into the $3 area, which was this resistance right here, and held that today. So I think for the short term, I'm going to start taking a look at some of these more speculative and a little bit junkier names, knowing that this thing is not something I don't think I want to hold for the long term. But if I can play with these
Right.
smaller names until silver pulls back or goes sideways for a period of time, then gives me an entry, and then I'll take a look at more of the names that I'd want to hold for a little bit longer term, like the PAS, just a way to get exposure. And I'm not going to put too much money into, this micro cap $3 stock that's down 99%, but I can throw a little bit of money at it. And then if silver just continues to rip from here, I can get some exposure that way.
I know that was one of your favorite trades. Of course, you are a big supporter of AMC. No, I know.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
But that was HYMC there. They drove that one into the ground, unfortunately. You're getting some credit here on a very, very similar play. If you can come to my screen, let's do this right now. GROY. Where's Joe Schmo? Where is he? There he is here. GROY, which is a gold royalty corp. You had mentioned it on the show as well. Up 15% since Mr. Michael Noss mentioned that to us traders. And honestly, Michael, maybe we're breaking out even more here on GROY. So this just goes to show you names that you've been mentioning here on the show. Some of these traders have been taking them. HYMC could be another GROY. Maybe any comments, any updates on this? Are you still in this name? Is it one that you took? What does GROY look like to you right now?
Yeah, I am still in. Actually, it's funny. The second I bring it up, one thing I love about trade ideas is my marks were still there. So I must have been looking at this kind of wedge right here. I think I mentioned this one when I was talking about the potential gold breakout before that one happened. Had a nice rip. I sold a little bit into this rip, and I'm still holding some. And I see what you're saying. We've got potential two tops here at what's that, 220-ish.
I think it's
This one 210.
Yep.
So above that, maybe I'll add back into the shares that I want. The benefit of, I talk about things I want to hold for the short period of time and things I want to hold for a longer period of time. Things like GROY are things that I'm okay, comfortable holding because their business model is essentially just to collect the royalties from gold miners. So even if it's moving sideways, I didn't look it up, but it's probably giving us a pretty good dividend on top of that.
Yeah, did you ever get a chance? Yeah, no, I do. There's a dividend on that gold royalty. Okay, we like that. What the heck is up with this Riley stock? Like, I don't know. I'll give you a second to look it up. RILY. I don't know. I clicked on it today, and the cool thing about Trade Ideas, again, is I have this whole thing. You can click on news. There's some news here. I don't really see anything. I mean, they last reported on February 28th. They cut their dividend, I guess. I mean, this name really starting to go. And for me, Michael, again, 81% short. I double checked this with Benzinga. They have 67%. Either way, it's a short situation here with B. Riley Financial, and it's looking like a breakout at 26, 27 bucks here. Without knowing too much about the company, I know that doesn't matter a whole bunch to you, as you've mentioned, looking at charts, but I think I like the long here. Are we crazy to think that, or what about this B. Riley Financial?
I think you've got a good place to take it. I have a weekly chart up here with some very poorly drawn lines. Let me do that again. But this $20 or so was the breakout area. You're talking 2019 now. Came right back into that $13 low from 2019 or 18 and then bounced. So I like it because, again, I call these basement window trades, which means that you know exactly where you're wrong on a name like this. If I were to see a close probably under 20 bucks a share, it's time to get out and move on and maybe get back in if we attempt another breakout. But I really like it just for the reason that you came up. I have no idea what they do.
Right.
I'm looking at the earnings per share up here, and they lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So this would be something that I'd want to do a quicker trade on. But with an 81% short float, if it gets going at all, it definitely could see some momentum to the upside just for a quick little hit.
I have your friend and mine, Brian Shannon, on tomorrow. And look what I just drew. And by the way, I just got to tell you something. We have e-signal on the floor as well. They can't even figure out how to put on anchored VWAP, but you guys have it right here. So I'm going to say shout out again to Trade Ideas, Trader TV 20. You just click on this. Come over to my screen quickly if you can. Fabian, if you're over there. Look at this. Anchored VWAP right here to that April low right there that I'm looking at that we're trying to take out right now. Puts the anchor. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. At 25.60, like literally what we're trying to break out. So I don't know. To me, that looks really good. Shout out to Trade Ideas and the anchored VWAP. Okay, Michael, look. Anything that maybe you were looking at throughout the day here? If we can get the camera back again here, we are no problem. Anything that you're looking at before we let you go? We may not hear from you for a little while. Is there anything maybe on a swing trade for a week or two or something that's catching your eye right now that maybe we haven't heard you say yet?
You've heard me say this one before,
Okay.
but I was very impressed with the strength in natural gas today.
Perfect.
Again, this is the same idea of the basement window type trade. It seems to be holding $15 just incredibly well. Every time we're at or under $15, there's some sort of buying come in place. And again, these trades I love. I'm mainly a trend trader, but I love taking shots like these because, again, I know exactly where I'm wrong. If we get a significant close under, this low right here back in March,
Yep.
that's 14.20 or so. If I get a close below that, it's time to go. Otherwise, I want to stay involved in this because a little pop, again, I'm not saying that UNG is on its way all the way back up to was $150 or $200, $150 a share. But if I can get in at 15 and I can get out at 20 or get out most of my position at 20, I'll be a happy camper. And that just kind of fits with a lot of the commodity themes that I've been seeing pop up in the market. We have COPX, which is another, it's copper miners as opposed to gold and silver. That's a copper miner ETF. That had a really good day, came in just like silver did and put in this nice bottoming tail. So I'm seeing more and more strength in commodities, and that's basically where I'm focusing. So copper, which the technicians actually call Dr. Copper. The idea is that if copper is a building material, it generally speaking won't be pushing higher in markets that people are scared about building stuff because you need copper for everything that you build. So quite often for CMTs used as just an overall strength of the market. If copper's moving higher, then you probably shouldn't be worried about any sort of market collapse. That, and then just, again, the UNG is the little bit of a scalp that I'm taking around the bottom there.
No, I like that. I think that's well worth the risk, and hopefully that does pan out for everybody. And also that XME you brought to us earlier as well. But that's something, look, you learn something new every day. I never heard that term before, Dr. Copper, so I probably will steal that from you. Okay, Michael, it's 4:30. I wish you the best of luck. I hope I see you on Friday, but I have a feeling I won't. So until then, everybody can find you where? On X and on YouTube. Anything else you want to talk about? I know you're on Instagram as well.
Instagram, Substack. If you Google Michael Noss
Substack.
DMP, you'll find a bunch of stuff out there.
Yep, go get that subscription with Substack. Thank you so much, Michael Noss. And thanks for everything. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to UNG. And once again, thank you so much for coming all the time. And Trader TV 20 for Trade Ideas.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Michael. There it is. That's Trader Talk. See, that's the thing. If we can combine here on the show, someone like Michael looking at the charts, you guys giving some ideas in the chat, and then not only that, but having access to Michael, be able to ask him questions live on the air, being able to ask him questions on X, on Instagram, and through Substack, and all of that. Thank you, Michael, for once again coming through. And of course, we go back and forth. He's waiting for an addition to the family. So thank you so much, Michael Noss, for coming through on that one. And we are very, very excited for that. Okay, well, the next topic, of course, we got to get out of here. But today's sticky note, because I got a playoff game with my kid today. Very, very excited. I'm so excited for him. They made it all the way to the Ontario provincials. Which is big. So we're very, very excited about that. I did tweet something out here about gold versus mining stocks. So you can see the major gold companies are well underperforming. So this goes to some of the tweets that I'm talking about. Go find me at TraderTV Sean, both on Instagram and on X. But this is kind of interesting. It's just been, the physical outproducing. So that's kind of interesting. I would almost rotate around and get into some of these names and get some dividend out of all of that. So that's something pretty interesting. Look, we talked about this. 3 green traders on the floor today. You saw one of them, and honestly, it's just about being simple. Keep it simple, stupid. We wanted Amazon long. We wanted Apple long. We wanted Tesla long. These are all bangers. We didn't get Tesla. We wanted Robinhood. We can go view that. And then we wanted AMD short, which we never got to 174. Look, Sean, what about all these prices, man? Amazon, 186. What's up with that? Okay, so let's think about how we traded this. Just real quickly, then we get roll call. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. That is for sure. Over 2,000 of you still with us. We're on X, we're on TikTok, we're everywhere. We're trading on Instagram and all that. All right, so what about Amazon? Well, here it is. So here's Amazon. Get out of here, Epic Pen. I'll put this over here as well. We'll get our roll call up next. So as this fell in, we took our first fills at 186, but look, it fell hard into 186. When this happens really early, we have learned our lesson. Here, let me put this right here so we can see that we're going to get roll call coming very, very soon. When this falls in right off the open, we've learned our lesson. We're not taking that 186 off the open. It's an area of interest for us. So we'll look at this, then it comes right back in, and I said, you know what? If we break this 185, then we're out. Let it fall back in. We get 185.50. Boom, all the way back up to the upside. Definitely bang, 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 giving us those great feels because it came all the way back. Nice move. Then we dropped into 185. We're not buying 186. Why? Because 186 hasn't held, traders. 185 is held. We let this thing fall all the way back in. Then it breaks 185. And we go, oh no, that's a fail. Okay, we're still green on the name. All right, all right. Comes back in, hits 185 again, and that's when we get that party started all the way back up to the upside. Apple again. It was all a dream because we took Apple back down in here into 168.50. As we wrote down, boom. Nice take on 168.50 for Apple. Only gets a little lower into that level. But again, all of these are just areas to start your trades and areas that we're looking at. We can't say anything without doing roll call. All right, so who's here today? Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Look, it's been a very, very interesting day, but without you, we don't have anybody. And who's here right now? We have 1,800 watching. Oh, I didn't even hit the like. There we go. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. This also gets produced as a podcast after, so let's go right now for roll call. Who's here? Thank you so much, Bears versus Bulls. I always have to thank you. Without that, we don't have anything. Thank you for all the moderation. But who's here? Oh, you know what? We didn't get to spin anything today. Let's do a quick spin. Spin 200. All right. Hey, Andrew Chow, he's here as well. Larry's mobile detailing. Get all your mobile detailing done with Larry on the chat. So a shout out to you, Larry. Dylan's here. Kling Daddy is here. Mike Breeze is here. Streamlabs is here. What? Streamlabs? Fail. I lost. Bye-bye 200 points. What's up to Caputi Electronic Music Producer? You need your music produced? Shout out to Caputi Electronic right here. D. Westermeyer's here. He wants to bang, so we'll go bang, bang, bang. Thanks so much to Joe Schmo is here today. There's Larry, Odyssey Flights, Mike Breeze, Chris Burton. Everybody's here today as well. Okay, I got to get out of here. It always feels good when you can put another green check mark in the blotter, and we do that today. I want to thank Michael Noss for joining me. I want to thank the market for being a little sleepy at the end of the day. Give us a lot to talk about. We had talked about eclipse, which didn't turn out to be too much. I hope if you were looking for that, you're able to see it. I'm looking forward to a good family night tonight. Spend some time with the kids. What else is new? At a rink. Hopefully they have the heaters on at the rink. That's the worst. That's my pet peeve. You pay all this money, $400 an hour for ice, and then they don't heat the rink. Shout out to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. Trader TV Live. I'm Sean Katina. See you then.